This version of It's Eric Nagel has been modified from its original broadcast. Content has been edited to fit this platform.
This episode of It's Eric Nagel brought to you by 22 Sierra Coffee. Listeners of It's Eric Nagel can get 15% off their order by using promo code ERIC, that's E-R-I-K, at checkout, 22sierracoffee.com. Use the promo code ERIC for 15% off.
Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
Are you ready? I said, are you ready?
It's Eric Nagel, and it starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear, it's Eric Nagel.
Thank you very much, Scott Shannon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the program. I am Eric Nagel. Joining me, as always, from the frozen tundra known as Arizona, say hello to Jordan.
Hi, everybody.
If things were going to keep going the way that the first attempt went, it would have been, it's Jordan, whatever your last name is.
Something. Yeah.
It's Josh and Jordan show.
It's just me talking to myself.
Right.
Got two cameras set up.
If you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, thank you very much for doing so. If you're listening to us at any place, time, during your convenience, do us a kindness. Go over there and listen to the show and also leave us a positive review. It does help out the program. We're talking Apple, Spotify, platforms of that nature. If you want to join us live each and every week as we do this show, head over to our live rooms on YouTube and on Twitch at It's Eric Nagel. And if you can't join us live and you just want to see the video when it finally pops up and skip through most of the stuff because you're just watching for the Jordan stuff, I get it. The videos will be up on YouTube under It's Eric Nagel. All right, we're here. We're queer. We don't want any more bears.
That's true.
That's how the show's going to start off today. This is second attempt. First attempt, right as we went live, everything crashed and Jordan was flying solo. And you know Jordan does not like to do that.
I really don't.
No. You would think he would it would toughen you up a little bit, up your broadcasting chops, and you just panicked like Garth.
You could have just left me going.
When Wayne wasn't there and Garth, they cut the camera to Garth after the announcer, and Garth's just like
staring off at it.
Yeah, I'm fine. This is okay.
Look over there. Just run away.
Yeah, skip in the chat. Mr. Nagelson. Ooh. I won't do the eye thing. I had to learn the hard way many years ago that you can't do that anymore. As fun as it might be.
Can't do that.
It's just something we can't do in today's day and age. Oh,
I don't know.
Pal Josh, formerly of ESPN, Josh Cohen, host of Questionable Call on YouTube. You can see it right there. Go over there. Do him a kindness. Go and like and subscribe for him. He gives you the world of sports with a little bit of entertainment in, I think, like a digestible 5-minute video. Something we try and fail at miserably. We can't get it down to an hour. I've had other people that wanted to try podcasts or they were trying radio or anything. It's like, how do you find out stuff to talk about? It's like we can't shut up.
We don't get to half the things we have.
Yeah.
We skipped an entire segment 2 last week and we had 3 hours of content.
Right.
You're welcome, everybody.
Right. It has to stop somewhere. We've gone too far. We don't know how to dial it back. I'm not going to get into the new agent discussion right now. We'll save that for another time. But there was discussion said, well, if you went back to radio, like, could you do a show with music stuff? I said, how? There's people who do music shifts and they're trying to figure out how to fill 15 to 30 seconds of whatever. How am I going to talk for 2 minutes and then have to go into whatever music the station's playing? Because I'm not listening to it. There's going to be a guy on the board playing everything. I throw the headphones down. Call me in 40 minutes when I got to come back and banter for another 2 minutes. It's almost impossible. I don't know how we do that. Oh, sorry. Correction from Josh. 4 minutes, but he'll talk like an auctioneer on a show. He does. It's nice. The New York in him. It's what we do. Anywho. Lots to get to today, and I'm going to tell you this. If this craps out, it's no good for the radio, because if this happens, the radio will never hear this. There won't be a show this week. But if this craps out, done. I'm going to just get a hammer and situate my whole setting here because I've got the radio set up here, the dial stuff over here, the recording stuff over here, the camera, the lights, the other setup over here for videos. Like there's 9 different things happening here. We've got the
Hey, we're back.
the soundboard, all that's working around.
I feel like your house is drawing all the electricity from the neighborhood, so you can see all the other houses like dim as you start the show
It's
up.
pulsing like in Phasmophobia. Oh no, the ghost is coming. I better go try to hide behind the television or else it'll kill me.
You can hear that sound as we start the show. And that's how it should be.
That is
We're the important
at.
ones.
Oh, we didn't even... You know what? I promised this last week and we didn't get a chance to it. I'll have to do it next week. All the new clips that we have, I haven't loaded them into the system.
Well, why would you? What do you do all week?
Yeah, it was trying to live for the entire week here.
That's
Not just
overrated.
the technical stuff. This was a today thing. But since we last saw you on the show, cue the Soap music. We need the intro music from Soap where they recap the previous episode.
I'll try to pull that. We can do that.
Last time on It's Eric Nagel, we had finished the show. A bunch of other disasters happened, which we're going to get into. So there's a new, this will be what, week 3 in a row of This Week in Disasters? Because stuff keeps happening. That happened.
Like, they just can't keep them in the air anymore.
We had a snow day here. The kid didn't go to school, wound up getting extremely sick. Like almost 103 fever. It was a problem. The next day, find out, go to call the kid out from school because now I got to take her to the doctor and what have you. The teacher contacts me through every school district has these apps that you can keep in touch with the school, the class parent, all of those people you need to get in touch to. So it's not having everybody's phone numbers. It's all through the app. You can do all that stuff. The teacher writes and tells me that about 6 other kids in her class. She has a class of 15, and 6 other kids in her class are also out with similar symptoms. So take the kid to the doctor, thinking the kid might have pneumonia. It turns out it's the flu. It's not pneumonia. The lungs are clear. Weekend goes through. Fever still going. Now I have to take her on Monday to get an x-ray. And then take the x-rays over to the pediatrician to reevaluate this again. Again, I'm thinking it's pneumonia.
Can't they do that? I mean, it's 2025. You would think you can just email those over. It sounds like you're about to, take a physical x-ray over to the pediatrician.
They did. I had to take the paperwork. They sent it over.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, it's not like me walking around with these giant old-fashioned x-rays and just a small manila folder holding it in the middle, hoping I don't drop it into the slush.
The wind hits it, it flies away.
Something like that, right.
It's just crazy.
So we go over to the pediatrician. They check her out again. Still flu, but now a double ear infection on top of that.
Sure,
so no pneumonia, but finding out from the school district that not only were like a majority of her class out, a lot of the school was out at the same time, all with the same thing. Like it's not an epidemic, but what's below an epidemic? Like what's a tier lower that is just like a regional thing?
I mean,
there has got to be
regional,
a term.
Though. I think there's the flu is going around and it's hitting a lot of areas.
It happened here, and it's some kind of demic. That could be the show.
Some kind of demic. Everything's going wrong. Kids are dying. Planes are crashing. The show doesn't work.
One moment, kids, as I write this down. Some kind of demic. That might be the show title for this week. Anyway, Tom and Wright saying outbreak. That's a bit more. I think that's just leading into the epidemic.
Yeah, it's an issue when you see like
Tom from Alberta,
Dustin Hoffman showing up. You're like, oh crap.
I don't know if that's even a real term, but it sounds official. It could be an endemic. Who knows? Maybe. As long as it's not a birdemic. Nope, that's the $9 eggs. Fuck you, shut up. If you shop around a little bit, you can find eggs pretty cheap. Just stop going to certain stores for it, you idiots.
I just buy one ostrich egg and I'm good for a month.
I know. I just eat Fabergé eggs.
Oh.
It's a habit I can't break. It's a $200 a day habit. Anywho. So everybody around here has this in her school district. But a lot of it escalated from flu to pneumonia, so they're really bad. been fighting it here, got the fever down, but then I knew it was just a matter of time before it came this way. Fortunately, I've not had the congestion. I've had slight coughing, but I've had the muscle pain that goes along with it, the aching. There's times where I'm trying to get off the couch or sitting in a chair, either in the studio or if I'm home in the kitchen or something. I try to get up. It's a pain in dead center, right under your rib cage. The muscle goes under your rib cage, around the right side to the center of your back. I'm guessing that's just how you're woven with your muscle structure in your body. But you try to get up, and it's like, oh my God, like I can't. I have to pull the top part of me up, or else I'm standing and I'm walking like the guys in Phasmophobia, where they're constantly bent at the waist looking at things. It looks really awkward.
Oh, I know, it's weird.
So I've had the muscle pain for the last few days. Today I woke up and I thought it fully hit me. I felt like shit. I thought I was running a fever. I didn't, unless that little light gun thing is lying to me, because I just keep going like this. I'm like, just be the day that it's over.
You just
now.
imagine you're just using the old Nintendo light gun. You're not even taking your temperature. This thing doesn't work.
And I have the gray one, not the orange one that they legally had to change because people thought the light gun might actually be a physical gun. Do you remember that?
Oh, they had to put the little orange tips on.
That was like late
Nerf
80s.
guns.
Yeah, they had the Nintendo. All right, quick sidebar. If you were a child of the 80s, you got the Nintendo Entertainment System. The original one was just the was the deck and 2 controllers, and it came with Super Mario. That was the original. They quickly upped it so that you got Mario and Duck Hunt as a 2-for-1 game cartridge.
Right.
And it came with the laser, the light gun for shooting at the TV. It's white, dark gray, and light gray with red lettering. In no way can you confuse it as a real armed weapon in everyday life.
That future man is going to shoot me.
But because of other things like gotcha guns and laser tag and air rifles and all that stuff, they passed some law in the late 80s that it had to have the orange cap on the front where the pellets would come out. Water guns were looking too realistic, so they had to have the orange cap. And then it had to escalate that the orange cap wasn't enough. Part of the gun had to be like phosphorescent. So you had to have some kind of day-glow colors, on there. Remember Super Soakers? That's why they were neon yellow and green, because they weren't allowed to look like a real gun. Same thing with the Nintendo gun. I have the gray gun. I have the orange and gray gun. So either one is going to be used. Back to the temperature thing here. We have the little light gun thing because it's hard to find a real thermometer anymore. It's all those little gun things since COVID. And I kept checking. I'm in the 90s. It's not. I feel hot, but it's not in the 100s. So whatever. I'm aching like crazy. My legs hurt. My back hurts. My chest hurts. My arms started to hurt. And I was like, oh God, this is really not good. And I'm trying to figure out, is it better to have this misery, or if my whole chest was congested and I'm constantly coughing and hacking stuff up? And I felt like if it feels like I'm wearing an exoskeleton, then I think that's the better way to go than having the lung issue, right?
Right.
The coughing was pretty light, but it was hurting because of the muscle pain, not because the rawness in the diaphragm or what have you. Her mom wound up getting the other end of the flu, where it's constant congestion, coughing up, blowing nose, all that stuff there. So I'm like, all right, I'll take this any day, because at least I could leave them while they're sick and I can go out and live life and then come back later and deal with them. So kids starting to get better. Fever's been gone for a few days, so that's good. Still has the cough. Sounds like the kid's barking. It's pretty bad. And the ear infection stuff. Kid is losing its shit because when I have to give, it's like 7 different medicines at night, and it's all little droppers and cups to drink. There's one she's freaking out about, and I go, what is wrong? I'm reading the label. It says it tastes like banana. And she's like, I don't like, and the kid loves bananas. And it's like, I don't like bananas. What is going on with this? So when she's not around, I just took a little bit myself. I'm like, all right, let me see what the problem is here. It does not taste like banana. I was expecting it to taste like artificial banana pudding or something. Mm-hmm. It tasted like citrus. And not like the good citrus. I'm talking like Five Alive kind of shitty citrus drink, right? And I'm like, oh my God, now I understand it. Well, there's nothing we can do. The kid has to take it. So now I'm like, I have to essentially sedate the kid. I got to like grab the arms and the legs or else they go flailing while I'm trying to, it's
Sounds like me trying to wash my dog the other day.
It's like the old George Carlin bit. You're stomping on the dog's tail so it howls so you could feed it the pill. Like, howl, howl, like that. So doing that, right? Kid's doing okay. I'm figuring, all right, 24 hours went past. The fever's gone. Kid can go back to school. Not doing so well. Find out the kid has 2 teachers. The main teacher, and then like a lot of the classrooms have a teacher and then like a teacher's assistant. I forgot what the title is for the other person.
It's like a class aide or
something like that. That person's been out the day the kids were all out. Like everybody's out on the same timeline here. Okay, well maybe the kid can go back Friday. Well, Friday's a half day for some reason, so that's not happening. All right, Monday's a holiday. The school district's off on Tuesday as well. So I can't find out why. Like, I can't get an answer to why. So the kid's not going back till Wednesday now, and it's been out for 2 weeks. And a couple of these were snow days in between, so they don't count as absent days. But I'm just sitting there and like, oh my God, if this was, I can't deal with this. I mean, I can, but I can't at the same time.
Doesn't it seem like kids got a lot more days off?
Yes.
In school than they used to, and I know you're dealing with this in a smaller capacity, considering what grade she's in. But my kids, I feel like they're always off, and frankly, I don't want to see them. Like this is the state's problem. Like just bring them on.
Right. I was so I've been fighting this flu thing. Oh, my school district out on Long Island, East Islip School District. Mm-hmm. You had to be short of dying in order to qualify for a day off, like an absent day, or something horrible was happening in the area or the high school for the school to shut down. The old days of listening to the radio in the morning or watching your local news at night to see the school district announcements of who's going to be closed the next day. My school district never closed unless the state came down and said, what the fuck are you doing? Close your fucking school district. One time, our school started at the high school started at 7:20 in the morning, right? Mm-hmm. I'm driving myself and my younger sister at the time to school, and we're waiting. I'm like, it's 1996, which if you look it up, there was a massive blizzard that hit the Northeast area in 1996. Like 2 of them within a month that were over 24 inches of snow. I'm trying to not drive to school, and the school district's not closing. They're not listing any. I'm hearing all the other districts, but this one's not closed. I'm looking, and you don't have online to look. You're watching the news and listening to the radio. I'm driving to school. I'm on the highway. I'm about a mile from the exit to get off to go to the school. Finally, they announced the school district just announced they're closing. So now I have to get off the highway there, and the school's right on the side of the highway. I get off, and I have to go into. I'll go. They have a big parking lot. I'll just turn around and go back. There's all these other cars that people are furious because they drove there. Parents drove kids there. Kids who could drive at that time drove there to find out the doors weren't even open to the school, but there was no public announcements. Like people were pissed. That's how shitty it was at that school. They never would take a day off. And if you did, they made it known that you had to make up those days in June. So you were going to stay longer in June to make up for snow days. Like it was our fault. Like it's always the kids' fault that anything has to happen at that school district. Anyway.
So I'm looking up the district here, and you got Martin Luther King Jr. They even said a professional day on the 14th.
Which school district?
So that's why it's Friday. Yours. The 17th.
My old
President's
one?
Day. No, you're current.
Okay.
And then literally,
you know
February
where I
18th,
live?
Shut your mouth.
All
yes,
right.
I do.
Wow.
That's what all the drones were about.
I guess so.
I was triangulating the Nagel household.
Right.
February 18th, school closed. No holiday, not even professional day. Just, we're closed.
No, this current school district is just prone to having days off all the time.
That is just
or half
I'm
days.
looking at you have quite a calendar with just days off here.
And I'm amazed by it. And I said, okay, whatever it is. I always find out, a day or two before. Oh, you got to pick her up at 11:30. Why? Half day. When did that happen? When? Nobody told me.
So here we go. In the event that the allotted emergency closing days are exceeded, scheduled days off will become days of attendance in the following order: February 18th, 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th of April. So it looks like they've built in 4 snow days to your calendar, and then the school will close for students on the 180th day of school.
Okay.
So maybe they just built it in as like you get a free day because we can't count.
Look, whatever it is, I know that they can shut down and it doesn't penalize anything if the governor does the state of emergency call.
Right.
So then it doesn't count towards a lot of that stuff because the state is closing everything down. But you're right. They just have time off all the time. And I am a bit envious of it. But is what it is.
That's right. Just crazy.
I also was going to have a problem when I found out the half day if the kid was going back because I have to go to the movies tomorrow. I have to go see Captain America 4. So
how dare they?
There was going to be an
off.
issue because I thought my movie was earlier than it was, and it turns out it wasn't. But then I said, well, then we have to get somebody because I will not be here for a portion of the afternoon.
Don't they know that this is your Valentine's Day gift to yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Just you and the Red Hulk.
Nobody else gets me anything, so I have to love myself.
Man.
You know when they see those videos for self-love, and you're like, okay, and then it's always some girl hawking some kind of new vibrator.
Right.
I'm not kidding. It's TikTok.
You
see it all the time. Yeah. My self-love gift is I'm going to see Captain America 4.
Still the vibrator.
No concession stand. I'm above that shit now.
It's a vibrating Red Hulk hand.
I went and bought my cheap candies. They're lined in my winter jacket, and they're ready to go.
Eric sounds like a maraca walking into the movie theater.
I know. It's a bit more difficult in the summer. It's like,
right.
Why is he wearing that hoodie? It's 90
coat.
degrees out. Yeah, but you have the air conditioning on, so I always... And then, meanwhile, Twizzlers and Starburst or something.
Yeah. I did find it funny that you were sending me pictures the other day, a video of the snow coming down. You're like, yeah, it's like 4 to 6 inches. So I responded in kind of me driving with my sunroof open because my car was too hot. Mm-hmm. You were not happy. I'm like, I can't relate to your weather, sir.
Here's me sending
It's hot.
Here's me sending a photo to Jordan.
Do you like my erection selection?
I still need to watch that movie.
I'm gonna pop off a piece of my dick with my dick.
That's a great movie.
With my
oh yeah,
dick.
I'm fixins to fuck you. I'm gonna put my dick in.
I need to watch that.
So good.
Anyway. Well, I mean, hopefully everybody on your end is on the mend and you can wait 2 weeks till the next sickness rolls through your house.
I was about to, a couple hours ago, I told you it was okay because I didn't know if I was going to be doing the show tonight. And I would love to let you do it yourself, but you don't like doing that. So
I mean, if I was prepared for it. It's like when everything stops, it's like, oh shit, where do I put my hands?
That is true. So yeah, I up to a couple hours ago, I was like, all right, I feel okay enough to do this. And then of course the electronic situation that happened right as we went live. I was supposed to do Garrett and Steve's show today. They asked me to come on, but they were doing early. They do it early on Thursdays for some reason, but it was like 3 to 5, and I wanted to do it. I love their show, but I told them, I said, I am not in a condition to do anything. I've been bed for the last couple days, and I'm amazed that I'm doing all right now. I've got I forgot what that shit is called.
It's not emergency, is it? Or the liquid IV?
Well, no, I do one of those a day, the liquid IV thing. But it's this thing that you inhale, and it's like it feels like it's burning your face, but it clears everything out. It's almost like not after
one of those like almost like those Vicks things that you stick up, you suck up your nose.
It's like the Vicks, but it's higher level than the Vicks stuff there. So you just you take 2 hits on each nose, and you're like. You can feel your eyes
smelling salt.
Yeah, it's whatever it is, and then I started feeling better. But Yeah, I'm gonna have to make it up to those guys. I want to come back on their show. They do a great show.
Well, they have to clear out by 5 because they have to clean the kitchen up for dinner.
That is true. That's true. Well, sometimes they do the living room. They've had those shows where on the big comfy couch.
Nice.
And so Garrett and Steve on YouTube, go give them a follow, and they also have a Patreon too, if you want to support them that way. And they tried testing junk food all the time, and the stuff they like is just the stuff I text them now and then when I'm watching live. And I go, what is wrong with you? That is pedestrian bullshit. Like that
I was gonna say, I mean, they kind of lost me with their food choices when they were discussing the 6-foot party hero. Like it's so hard to get back in their good graces when it comes to snacks and food. When they had one of them had such a
one of them wanted the plate
of why
assortment.
They liked it.
You know, I mean, most places don't do the party heroes anymore.
Sure.
They do the sandwich platters. And that I can't argue with that. That's a great secondary choice. I'd rather have that than walking in and there's just pizzas everywhere. I'd love there's multiple sandwich platters, different kinds. I'd be all about that. That's fine. An acceptable substitute, the 2 3-foot sandwiches, which seems to be what a lot of delis make now. Is the
that way you
3-foot
get
thing.
variety,
right? And that's fine. The 6-foot is just a work of art. If you can do it on the plank with the cellophane, half Italian, half American, all the condiments and sides with it, you're walking with a giant, cellophane wrapped surprise. Like you don't know what's in it, but you can see right through what it is.
so nice.
It's fantastic. So, I'll have to make it up and do a show with them at some point. I do enjoy their show. How are you doing? Tell me about you.
I'm good. I got a lot of condolence calls and texts. I know you guys were worried about me because I watched the big game, as it were, this past Sunday and watched my Chiefs get absolutely just demolished.
Missed it by that much.
Oh, I missed it by much more than that. Yeah, it was bad. So, but I mean, as always, it's just a game. It's just football. Like, it's people are shitting on them, like, oh, they're not a dynasty. They suck. They're the worst. I'm like, it's their 3rd Super Bowl in a row, right? Like, I mean, at some point, your taunts and your bad vibes don't really matter. They made it 3 times in a row.
Right.
They've been to like 5 Super Bowls in the last 7 years. Fuck off.
That's not bad.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to be upset.
That's a decent record for a football team. Yeah.
Right. Like I can only be mad for so long. And then this past, I went after the show last week. On Friday, I went and saw the Savanah Bananas. I know you and I have discovered the bananas and the Portland pickles and all these other minor league things. And
that fucking shirt sold out. And I know. So mad.
I keep looking because it's a cool shirt.
No, all they have is 3X. And it's like, I don't know who's wearing a 3X shirt, but they have that in abundance, but every other size has been sold out for a while. So,
wow.
I actually did something that I never do, and I fill in that line. It says, we'll notify you when it's in stock. I put my
tell
email.
Me when the shirt is.
Yeah, I want it's the purple with the neon green on it. So
that's a cool one.
Yeah, I want the XL. Just let me know.
Yeah. So I went to see Savanah Bananas. It was actually really, really, really fun. Like it's an actual baseball game. They wrap a baseball game around just chaos and silliness. They've got a guy on stilts. They've got guys who light their hand on fire to throw a ball. They've got all kinds of crazy ass rules, and it's a fun experience. It's a fun time. They get everybody involved, and they actually play a real baseball game. They just modify the rules a bit. The way they do things is that every inning is worth 1 point. A team that gets the most runs in an inning gets that point for the inning. So it's not like, oh, they scored 5, they scored 3, so it's 5-3. No, you win that inning, you get the point. Except for the last inning, every run counts. So if it's tied up all the way through the last one, that's when you really got to try. There's a 2-hour time limit, which is really nice, makes the game short. You can't start a new inning if the time stops. Like if it's between innings and time stops, game's over, done. Whatever the score is what the score is, unless you need to go to like a sudden death. You can't step out of the batter's box. There's no bunting. Batters can steal first, which is kind of fun.
That's fun.
You see like an errant ball goes past the catcher. They just run, man. They get there. No mound visits. This one was a fun rule that I wish MLB would institute. If a fan catches a foul ball and it's not like bobbled, it's like they legit catch the ball, it's an out. Like the fans can actually get an out for that team. which is kind of cool.
Okay, I'm with that.
That's pretty fun.
What if they catch it like they do the old pull the hat off and grab it off the side of the wall?
They said that if you catch a ball, it's an out, and then people would catch it, but like they kind of like bob a little bit. So they're like, oh, you didn't get a full catch, so it doesn't count. So I think they kind of regulate what they call a catch and what they don't. There was a few times where it actually worked, which was kind of neat. They do a showdown tiebreaker where if it's tied at the end of the game, they'll do one infielder, one pitcher, and one batter and see if they can get a runner to score. And then they'll trade off. If that doesn't work, they do another one where it's just a pitcher and a batter. And if that doesn't work, they do some other crazy ass rules where they load the bases, they got a pitcher and the batter, and then they try to score. They've created this crazy, scenario where it never happens, but if they need it, they got it. They have the banana ball challenge rule where someone on each team gets a crowd member, and if during the game they want to challenge a rule, they can do it. So like there was a batter that ran to first, the tie goes to the runner, and then they were like, no, we think you were out, and they challenged it, and they got the runner out. So the guy was safe, and they reviewed it. Nope, it was an out. So like you can challenge certain things, and then they have this thing called the golden batter rule, where anywhere in the lineup you can pick your best hitter and say, I want him to bat instead of this guy. It's kind of almost let's just put your best guy in, try to maybe break the tie.
Right.
But yeah, it's so fun. Like music's constantly
What if you could tag
playing.
in somebody from the audience?
I thought that too. I was like, could you like say, look, I want to pick that guy to hit, and then they do that. But I mean, these guys are legit like baseball players. They're really playing. They do trick plays. Like I saw a guy do a backflip in the outfield and catch it. They're catching it through their legs. They're tossing it behind you. It was quite an experience. And honestly, if I can get tickets again, I would do it again. Like I thought it was going to be a one and done just because it would be fun experience, but I think it's something I'd actually want to go to again. So yeah, really fun experience.
How much were the tickets to go?
About $35.
That's it.
Well, that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Parking and all that other stuff.
Parking was like $10.
All right,
but even that was not that bad.
That's very reasonable.
Yeah, and they were playing they're playing all over the country right now. Some of them are big stadiums like Petco Field in San Diego is where the Padres play. But here they were playing at, they did 2 different weekends, but both of them were at the minor league spring training game, like fields. So it was small, real intimate. It was fun. I got free donuts. Like they're wild, man. They're
free donuts, or are they whipping them into the crowd and you got free donuts?
Both. So the way they did it, some guy gets up, right? And the announcer's like, all right, this is so-and-so on the opposite team. This is our Dunkin' Donuts batter of the game. What that is? And the guy hits the ball. He goes, never mind. Let's try again next time. So the next time he was up, he goes, all right, let's try it again. If they strike this guy out, everyone gets donuts. And so then the crowd is yelling, donuts, donuts the entire time. The guy strikes out. Everyone goes wild. They have guys running through the field, infield and out, and going to the crowd and throwing little packaged donuts at people into the crowd. Damn. And then as you left, they handed you Dunkin' Donuts gift cards. I was like, well,
were they throwing them into the crowd, like flipping them like Gambit?
Whipping them like Gambit.
Yeah. Just hitting people in the face,
right.
the eyes.
It's like,
knocking out children. Oh, my God. Donut cannon. Tom
that
saying.
Would be fantastic.
Right.
But yeah, it was a real fun experience. And I suggest if you guys can try to get out there, get and see a game, it's really fun in person.
All right.
It's wild.
Yeah, I would love to go see
guy on stilts came
that.
out, hit a ball. It's like 10 feet tall. It was just
Did he have a 10-foot tall bat too?
No, but the umpire had to get on like a stepping stool, and then the guy, like usually the catcher's, down low trying to catch the ball. He was just standing up.
He's swinging a bat like Triangle Head from Silent Hill, just a giant bat. That would be awesome.
So no, really cool. I thought it was really neat. They actually have a charity. They try to help with foster kids and stuff like that. Real good charity, but the name stuck with me and made me laugh. And I know it was a nice sentiment, and they're trying to get kids, into good homes and adoption, stuff like that. Their charity is called Bananas Foster, and I laughed for like a good 5 minutes straight. I'm like, that's the best name you could possibly do for this. And
Wordplay Yuma.
It's like, you guys are great.
I got to get Chip clips.
That would be great.
I think I'm gonna have to go watch old Chip episodes and get some Chip sound drops. I think that'd be fantastic.
So yeah, that's been my week. Just a lot of lot of weird stuff going on, but I'm excited. And then next week, next Friday, a week from tomorrow, as we are doing this, starts my concert run where I'm going to go see Fall Out Boy next week. And then I just got tickets to go see Linkin Park officially. So yeah, it's been great.
Look, you made one smart purchase and now you just continue to make poor decisions.
Right. Just constant. So can't wait. You'll have some concert footage or stories.
Right. What is this? Tom from Alberta. Sorry I missed the show last week. I'm having a snow day. Everyone's having a snow day except Jordan.
Not me.
Even California is having a snow day. That's causing massive problems right now. We'll get that into that a little bit because we're going to have a new segment of This Week in Disasters to tell you about everything.
Oh, my God.
Nick S. in the chat here saying, this is better than Sam's show. This is a show, and this show seems mundane. Oh, thank you. Backhanded compliment. My take, my tax dollars want kids on a bus during garbage weather with a stressed and depressed dry drunk behind the wheel. Yeah, that's some of the school districts are like that. Others are, I don't like the look of those teenagers. I think we're closed today.
I like that he said, I don't like that other show as much as this garbage show.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of a dick move.
I mean, we're all floating in a sea of mediocrity. I can't even say it right. Mediocrity. We're doggy paddling in the shallow end of the gene pool here is what we're doing, folks. Yes, Frankie Bronson's back. Chippa. Always Chippa, yeah. Always Spoolin'. That's an interesting name.
I like that the name is always, in quotes, always Spoolin'.
Yeah, he has it on his shirt, so it's like you know who the nickname is. You know who the guy is. Thanks for all the laughs over the years, Eric. You spelt the name wrong, but I'll let that slide for now. Thank you, my friend. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Please do us that kindness. It'll be a lot of fun. All right. I want to talk to you about some news. A new TikTok channel for the show.
Yep.
We have It's Eric Nagel. That's on TikTok. That's for clips for this show. We've been trying to figure out what to do with the consumer because people wanted longer form versions of the consumer. So we did that, but it doesn't seem to really be resonating as an episodic series.
Look,
right?
It makes us sick.
And yeah, it does. We have so much stuff. I have bags of shit.
I still have stuff, yeah.
Off screen, over in that way, that we still haven't gotten to. So, as much as I didn't want to do this, because I don't like the way vertical production is at all, it seems that the vertical short clips do very well for the consumer stuff. So, we launched a new TikTok. It's I don't even have it on the screen. I should put it on the screen, shouldn't I? I'll do it right here. It's TikTok. It's the consumer. Real simple. Go over there. Do us a kindness. Go and follow that. And what we're doing right now is we're putting up all the old videos. It's right there. It's the consumer on TikTok. It just launched like a day ago, I think. We're putting all the old videos up there. They're all scheduled to release throughout the weekend and what have you. So like every 3 hours or something, a new video goes up. And then we're going to start putting all the new stuff there too. Mm-hmm. So it'll be a mixture of the old and new until all the old stuff's up. And then it's just the new stuff going forward. This way, it allows Jordan and I, when we get a product to come in, it's like we don't have to sit here and wait to get a few other things and then do the full show. We can just go hop on, do the review quick, and get the fuck off. And
we got a ramen show coming. There's things that I get that Eric doesn't get. I might throw on a video or so. I mean, it's going to be nice to be able to just get this out quickly and more up to date. I mean, there's new Oreos, there's new Coke, there's new Dr. Pepper. I mean, there's all kinds of things. And if we sit on it for months and months, then it just we've lost out. So this will be a nice way to get this out to the masses, let you know what's out there and let you know what to avoid, because we are honest in our reviews. We'll tell you if it's shit. We don't care.
Yeah, we're not catering to companies. It's not that we won't work with companies, but we're just not sitting there. If you watch a lot of food review stuff, it's usually fat people that are going into a restaurant and then sitting in a car and then eating it. Or you get that one guy, remember the pickle guy? Who was a little swish bish, that kind of thing.
It's so hard, it's so huge, and you can't get your mouth around it. It's too much.
Yeah, so that was his review of the Jimmy John's pickle sandwich. We go in there, we tell you what it is, how it is. As always, you go and try it for yourself. You don't have to listen to anybody's opinion on that stuff, but we're not trying to get the favor of companies. You can tell when you see some reviews, they're really trying to get Wendy's to notice them, or they're trying to get Chick-fil-A or something. And you watch the review a little bit. There's too many adjectives. There's too much storytelling in their review. And it's not like you just say, this is okay, and be done with it. I get that. There's got to be some sort of showmanship in there. But in the middle, you can do that and get your point across. You don't have to say, look how fluffy this looks, and you can't go wrong. You always have to this, and then I got the ice cream. Like, everything is so over-emotional for these people. It's like, you can't live your life like this, or the slightest inconvenience is going to devastate these people mentally and physically.
Look, I would love if Chick-fil-A came on and sponsored the show. It's the only way either one of us is going to be able to afford Chick-fil-A anymore.
We will do a show on Sundays if they wanted to. They don't have to, but we would do it. We would move the show to Sundays to fill in the gap for Chick-fil-A not being open on Sundays. But alas, that's not going to happen. Yeah, Chick-fil-A we went to recently. We got two things. We got a Cobb salad, and then I got the spicy chicken deluxe combo. And for those two things came over $32. That's ridiculous.
That is a lot.
And I said, all right, well, this is another place that I'm going to have to reconsider. Not that I can't afford it. It's just I don't like spending money for something that I know is being grossly overpriced. And I will do everything else but that. It really is. I'll coin this phrase: grinds my gears that you have to go and you do that. That's why I've had such problems publicly with McDonald's for years. The food is not as good as I remember growing up, but that's what happens when you get older. But the portions change, the food changes. They keep doing these stupid collaboration promotions with celebrities or influencers or whatever, and they don't really mean anything. It's like, oh no, you mean I can get a 6-piece and a quarter pounder, both with sweet and sour sauce on the side and a Sprite? Wow, what a deal. Let me make sure I get that combo. So, anyway, it's the consumer on TikTok. Go over there. Please go and follow that. If you want to like any of the videos, you want to hate them, I don't care. Put it in the comments. Whatever you want to say. But give that channel a follow. It just launched yesterday or last night, I believe. And it's just going to be posting all the videos. A lot of them are on our Instagram account for the consumer. Right. But we're just transferring everything over there. It's a whole process that you have to do.
Don't tell them that. Drive the engagement where we want it.
Either one of those accounts is fine. I'm just thinking TikTok might be the place to get more exposure for it now.
That's what I'm saying.
I was always against it, but I got recently talked into setting up a consumer TikTok.
Oh yeah, no, we'll be doing dances on there. We'll be lip syncing. It's going to be great. We're going to do it like every other TikToker out there.
Yeah, here's me with 2 rare McDonald's sauces, and I'll just be going. And that's
right.
What are these sauces, by the way?
I think those are the ones from like a year ago. I can't believe you haven't eaten those.
Special grade garlic sauce.
Yeah.
These are from Crunchyroll.
I think I was still doing another show when those came out.
Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yeah, it's an anime.
Yeah, those are sitting here. I've never even tried those. I'll have to try them. I'll get chicken nuggets.
God, I can't wait to get salmonella because they've been sitting there for so long.
I haven't had this in years. We're not doing a food segment, but I haven't had this in years. But no, somebody gave this to me recently, and I went, oh my God, I haven't had this in years. Willy Wallaby soft, chewy licorice.
Those are
amazing.
The summer is better because they have the lemonade ones.
The lemonade ones are good. I know. I think that was the last time I had them was when the lemonade ones came out. You can't go wrong with the strawberry. They have an apple and they have a mango one too. The mango one's pretty good. Anyway, it's the consumer on TikTok. Give us a follow over there if you could. We really would appreciate that. Always spooling, saying bring back the McDonald's characters. They are in a weird way. Like they're all about Grimace now for some reason.
Yeah, I remember the Grimace shake last year was a big.
Well, now they made up some bullshit that Grimace has an uncle that created the Shamrock Shake. So that's a thing that's happening now, and it's just grimacing. It's grimacing green, wearing like a fedora and glasses to make him look like an old guy.
Oh, it's like when Shaq was the old version of Shaq.
Yeah. So dumb. Jared said we should do close-up eating shots with loud chewing for the rage bait. Yeah, people love those videos.
Lay's potato chip ASMR. We'll just be chewing on the microphone. Mm-hmm. It's the only way they're good.
Let's see what here. Tom from Alberta. There's stuff I've sent that hasn't been reviewed or posted. No, that's been reviewed. They're in the long form videos. They're just not posted as the clips. So, I'll have to go and clip all those things out. We got the new layouts for the video, so we can just drop, because the videos are shot like they're supposed to in this, 16:9 horizontal thing. But to do it for vertical, it's a pain in the ass. But we got the new layout now where you can just drop the video in and it does it for you. So hopefully we'll get a lot more of those videos out. And then going forward, everything's just going to be shot in vertical because I've given up caring about the consumer and all that. So whatever's going to make money and attention, that's what it's going to be. This show, not so much, but for that project, I don't care. It's going to be whatever it's going to be.
Right.
So
now, speaking of food, did you see any of the, because when we were doing the Super Bowl commercials, I saw that the most of the ones we saw, they loaded almost before the game started, like the Carl's Jr. one and things like that. Did you watch the Super Bowl? Did you check out the halftime show? Did you pay attention? I know you're not much of a sports person like I am, so I watched.
I was doing cooking and stuff while the game was on.
Yeah,
I did a lot of cooking on Sunday. It was fun. I made first time I found a great recipe. I made in the slow cooker the smoked sausages.
Oh, I like
in
those.
like a barbecue sauce.
Yeah, you sent me a bunch of those pictures. They look good.
Yeah. So I found a great recipe. I didn't realize the secret ingredient in that shit is grape jelly.
It's grape jelly. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Weird, right?
So they're like, oh, just get any kind of, basic grape jelly. And I said, no. We're not doing that. You gotta
put in some Smuckers.
No. I got the Palmer's All Fruit Concord grape.
I forgot about those.
And don't call it jelly. I poured that in there. I got a no sugar added Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce.
Sweet Baby Ray's is good.
Because the original
I'm surprised you didn't try to find a Kinder's. Because Kinder's does a lot of good sauces.
Yeah, they do, but they're smaller containers and they cost more. So if you're trying to do a bigger thing, the Sweet Baby Ray's, I think
you can find the same size. Like I said, they do one that's a California Gold. It's a little bit less on the sugar content because that was good for keto.
I like the California Gold. Good. It's more of a vinegar based than it is a molasses based. And that's fine. But for what this was, I just went with the raised and the no sugar added, so that it's I'm not a big Sweet Baby Ray's fan at all. But I wouldn't say no to it, but I don't prefer it. If you have it, it's all high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, it's all there. Most of them are,
and they don't taste that good. The no sugar added stuff doesn't have the corn syrup in it. It's just whatever the sugar content is from the brown sugar and whatever else regular sugar they add to it. So I rather all the sugar come from the grape jelly than the barbecue sauce. So I put that in there. I strained some garlic into the mix, and I put some Worcestershire sauce into it as well. And then I was stirring it up like a cauldron, and then I dumped all the smoky stuff in there, and I let it go for about 3 hours. I think because I looked at a bunch of recipes, and I was just picking and choosing out of all the recipes what I wanted to do. I think personally next time when I try this, I'm going to grill them first. Nobody else has this about grilling those little smoked sausages. They just put them in there.
I don't think I've ever grilled them beforehand.
I'm going to try grilling them for a little bit. Not fully cooked like you would do a kibasi or Italian sausages or something like that. I'm going to grill them for a little bit and then put them in there to cook. And I think because when it sits there too long, it tastes almost like you're eating an uncooked hot dog.
So you're just trying to get a little bit of char, a little bit of flavor.
Yeah, a little bit of a snap to it,
Sounds good.
by doing it. So I think I might grill them first while the sauce is heating up, then dump them in and let it sit there. But anyway, I let it go for 3 hours. It was great. Made my wings. They came out fantastic. I made too many wings because the wings were on for the bird flu and what the eggs are cost. The price for eggs are costing right now and whatever. The wings were dirt cheap. I was getting 2-pound bags, 2 for $10.
The frozen ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and they were big portions too. Like the flats and the drumsticks were pretty big. So I bought like a few bags of those things, and I had them all, partitioned on the grill, and was grilling them up for a little bit. Made my own sauce to go with it. Somebody decided to add something to my sauce that I wasn't aware of, and I was not happy. Even though everyone else loved it, I was not a fan of it being in my sauce recipe, and shall not have it again next time. Somebody add ground up black peppercorn to it.
I mean, that doesn't sound terrible.
Nobody else complained about it but me, and I'm the ones who made them.
That's weird.
I did. So somebody thought they were helping me out because I was cooking the sauce. I said, "Do me a favor when it's on a low simmer. I'm like, when it starts to bubble a little bit, drop the thing of butter in there, right? The stick of butter, and then I let that all melt up and mix, and then I add everything else, an extra garlic or whatever." They added black pepper into it. And it's not like dinner black pepper. It's the grinder black pepper like you would get at the steakhouses and stuff in there. And everyone loved it. They all loved it. But I'm sitting there and I'm trying to taste the hot sauce, and I'm getting the black pepper in the back of my throat that's negating the other pepper that I wanted to taste. So every time I'm eating, all I kept saying is like, I'm just getting like pieces of black pepper. And I was not a fan. So that shan't be happening again. I did that. I made pigs in a blanket from scratch, which
sounds good.
I'm not doing that again. That takes way too much time.
I was going to say, it's a lot of work for garbage food.
Yeah. But
you know what I mean?
I like trying to make the basic things and figuring out my own way of doing it. Because almost everything else that I cook is my own recipe. Like I take from other places and then I figure it out and I'll add extra stuff into it and make it my own. So I was trying to do this too. I was trying to break it down and do it my way. And there's no real way you can change pigs in a blanket. There really isn't anything you can add to it. So I'll just buy the Hebrew National ones from now on. I'll go back to that. Sure. So I did all the food, was watching the game, saw the commercials, got to see the Kendrick Lamar thing. I thought the stage show was good. I know everybody else didn't like it, I guess, and then it became a fucking race war online because white people said they hated it and black people were offended that white people didn't like it, and you don't understand the cultural significance of this. And it's like he called out a guy he thought was a pedophile. Okay, big cultural significance, I get it, but he did that.
I think it was more of the Sam Jackson being Uncle Sam, telling him to kind of like act right, fly right. There was a deeper meaning to it, which I got it. What I hated is when you go online and you're looking at the people, and of course everyone has to make a political, not even so much like just because of the show, but just they're on there going, it's so nice to finally see the American flag being shown on the halftime show. Finally, this and that. And like, aren't you the same people that were boycotting the NFL? Mm-hmm. And then they're sitting there watching this, touting the American flag, not understanding the symbolism of why it was there. They're just seeing what they want to see. And it's just, at some point,
I don't want to see any kind of cause in an event like this. Like even October is annoying, but I get it because it's breast cancer. And it's a big deal.
Breast cancer awareness.
Yeah, but remember how ridiculous it was when everybody was wearing pink?
Everyone was wearing pink.
I get it's for the cause. Not knocking the cause. I'm knocking the outfit choices.
I don't like your outfits. Mm-hmm. Did you notice that there's been a huge drop off on that whole Movember thing where people shave and then just try to grow their mustaches out for prostate awareness?
It's
like
stupid.
That went away too.
It's stupid. It's dumb. It wasn't Movember also that you weren't going to jerk off for a month?
No, that's I think that's something else.
Is it No Fap February?
Ew.
Yeah, whatever.
So gross.
I know. But it's the shortest month, so you get it over with and recharge your batteries. No, I don't care about the Movember thing. The dry January doesn't even bother me. I know that bothers people,
It's No Nut November.
No Nut November.
Which is gross either way.
So grow a mustache, grow a porn stash, and jerk off, and don't jerk off for a month.
Right.
Got
Look
it.
like you're a creep and don't touch yourself.
Right. Where were we going with this?
We were Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. And
right. So yeah, I got to watch it. The show was fine. The stuff was fine. Sam Jackson coming out as Uncle Sam.
It's fantastic.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was great.
I
know it had supposed to have symbolism.
There was meaning to it, but
when he walked out there and he's like, "It's your uncle, Sam," and I'm like,
"Damn right,
all right, I'm with it. I like him.
I see what you did there."
Yeah, I didn't. I'm not a fan of the guy's music, and that's not saying I think his music's shit. I just don't really care for nothing appeals to me. So it's
I'm
fine.
just glad someone finally put Canada in their place because Drake is from Canada and Degrassi, and frankly, I'm just tired of.
What if they put him in a wheelchair and wheeled him over the border back into Toronto and said,
right.
"Take him back, he's yours."
Yeah, I'm not. I'm like you. Like I'm not either against or for Kendrick Lamar. I'm not familiar with a lot of his work, so for me, it was like I liked the way everything looked, but I wasn't into the music, and it's not at all about not liking rap music. I forgot completely Usher was last year's. Like this is how much like I'm kind of getting over R&B artists and rap artists being the halftime show, and I feel like you should probably mix it up again. I don't care if it's rock, maybe throw a country act.
Well, I saw that argument too, and it's like, oh, everybody thinks that the halftime show should be Prince or Tom Petty. I should have.
Yes, I do.
Hold on. I'm real mad at myself now because I should have screen capped this thing because I saw it on Twitter and it was somebody prominent. I can't remember the name of it. If you find out in the audience there and let me know who exactly was said, it said everybody thinks that it should be Prince or Tom Petty, but you're not understanding the whole diversity thing, whatever. And the fact that hip hop's allowed to be on this platform, everything is significant and a cultural moment and all this stuff. One of the responses under there were Prince and Tom Petty are dead. Like that was the whole thing. It's like nobody's is nobody wants dead people to perform, or are people saying I rather have dead artists perform than the current hip hop artists? I don't care. It was fine. It doesn't mean anything to me.
I just and again, it has nothing to do with rap as an art form, being showcased. I think when the Super Bowl was in LA and they had Drake come out and Snoop and they had Eminem and fucking 50 Cent was hanging upside
Kendrick
down like
was
a
there.
fat bat, and it was Kendrick was there. You're right, and Mary J. Blige. That was a great show.
It was fantastic.
And then maybe the next Super Bowl you do like a rock artist, you do a metal artist, like you can mix it up without it feeling very mundane. Because like the last couple of years, I haven't cared.
Can I tell you a moment in the Super Bowl where I laughed?
When it was when the Chiefs were down 0 to like 25, and
you
knew I was at home crying.
No, that later on when we were having a discussion, I said, "So when did you? When was your bet of when your team would show up? Was it at the end of the third quarter? Did you win?" No,
that's right. I forgot. I did bet money on the Super Bowl. I made a bunch of small bets. I think I spent $15. Made some money.
First of all, the Nolans artists that did America the Beautiful were fantastic. Yeah. The guy on the trombone.
Yeah, he was good.
I forgot his name. I made it a point to try to remember, and of course I forgot it. But there was a lady singing, and then there was the guy on the trombone. It was Slim Trombone. I forgot his name. Damn
I know he had like a really cool jazzy name.
Yeah,
too.
And it was two guys playing the drums and stuff on the side.
Like Bleeding Gums Murphy.
It was fucking awesome. Like it was really, really awesome. Then they go to the national anthem, and here's where I laughed because the national anthem was performed by the band leader for Stephen Colbert.
Right.
I'm forgetting the guy's name. Not John Forte.
I'm gonna look it all up.
He was from the Fugees.
Well, he was funny because that guy was also in that Saturday Night movie as the musical guest of their first night.
Right. But anyway, he's playing the national anthem, and then it cuts to Trump standing there saluting for some reason, right?
Like why?
But I'm like, he's the band leader for the show that leads the charge for shitting on Trump. He's Colbert's band leader.
John Baptiste.
Thank you.
And then Trombone Shorty.
Thank you. Trombone Shorty was amazing. Him and who I forget the lady's name too. She was also great singing America the Beautiful. But
Harry Connick Jr., Lauren Daigle. Harry Connick
yeah.
Jr. was fantastic, by the way.
But John Baptiste playing the national anthem, and then Trump, it cuts to Trump, and the place erupts, right? Colbert has to be sitting there and he goes, my fucking band leader is playing so that Trump's getting another pop while all this is going on. So that's where I chortled a little bit of chortling happening. But yes, back to Kendrick Lamar here. Casey in the chat saying, as a 90s girl, his pants were amazing.
They were women's flared pants.
I didn't notice it until the next day when everyone's saying he was wearing bell bottoms. And then somebody said, guys, please do not make it a trend to wear bell bottoms. It works for him. It's not going to work for everybody else.
Well, yeah, and I had to look it up. That guy's like 5'5".
Right.
Like, I think it works for him because he's a short little guy doing his thing with like a really cool, almost like a starter jacket. Like it was just awesome. Like everything about it was pretty cool.
Tom from Alberta, Metallica. I don't know if maybe they would do it at this point.
They
in their
might
career.
do it
for this point in their career. I think they have no.
I mean, they play like
of
they do like
credibility,
national anthem at.
They're above that level where you can say they sold out or they're not credible. Whatever. They've been around for 40 years. They could do whatever the fuck they want. Metallica would be.
Gojira. They're the ones that just won a Grammy. They did the Olympic show. Remember when like the woman's head was Marie Antoinette's head was cut off and they were playing on the castle. That would be a great show. No one's going to be happy one way or the other.
Well, Metallica did that fantastic album with the San Francisco
S&M,
orchestra, right? So what if Metallica goes there and has the marching band with them?
Oh, that would be
and does it like that, cool. And then you see Always Spool and say, bring back the marching bands. Yeah, exactly. Sure. A marching band or several marching bands backing up Metallica playing during the halftime show, and they do their coordinations like when you see Ohio State and all that stuff that's going on there. So
fantastic.
Why not?
We got a winner of an idea right there.
Crack the whip, a jaw-dropping performance. Yes, it would be. He's also saying, I would love to see present-day Prince and Tom Petty do a half show. I'll make the popcorn.
Michael Jackson is the third guest.
Well, where is it? Tropical Punch. Hello, Tropical Punch. Good to see you. Who doesn't enjoy a good Tropical Punch?
Could you imagine they do an all hologram?
We've got holograms now. Anyone could perform. Now, we haven't seen the holograms in a while because they debuted Tupac at, what was it, Coachella?
It was Coachella.
And then they did the Freddie Mercury one.
That was like years ago.
But they haven't done it since. Yeah. So maybe, like what he's saying there, if you came out and you did the Elvis, not the reunion show, what was the comeback special where he's in the black outfit? Or each song he morphs into a different version of his life, the outfits, and he ends the CC Rider phase where he's in the fucking bedazzled jumpsuit. Yeah.
That'd be fantastic. That would be really cool.
I would buy tickets to see that. I'd show up late, watch that, and leave the Super Bowl after the Elvis performance. Yeah. Worth it. For that, to see Elvis, would do. Or Paul McCartney and Ringo, and then two hologram other Beatles there. George Harrison and John Lennon. I know people are going to say, you don't know the Beatles. No, if you have there as they're playing, why not? I'm about that. We should go and do all of that. Let's make it happen. All right. Is there anything we missed in the chat before we get to the Kendrick stuff here?
I'd go see Jem in the holograms.
They're truly outrageous. I would. What is it? Passion and glitter, fashion and fame. Jem is outrageous.
Jem is my name.
Yeah. Anyway, so I have a clip of the Kendrick thing. I mean, we're a week removed.
Sure.
Let's take a look.
Pretty much, it's still everywhere.
Now, I heard this song a while ago. I used to hear clips of it like online.
Right.
Didn't realize it was the song that was the Drake diss track.
The dissing of Drake.
Right. And then, so after I watched the performance, I went back to listen to the song and read the lyrics, and I go, all right, that is kind of fucking funny.
Good wordplay. Wordplay.
It was good. It was.
He was able to get the entirety of the stadium to say A minor.
Yeah,
like people were like, "You pedophile."
He dropped that line from the song, which,
yeah,
I'll say this, good on him, because you made your point with the song. You've made your point in other ways. The fact that you're singing this now, you teased it between every song that you did that you were going to do it and then cut to something else, was brilliant. And then he performed it at the end.
He's getting sued for almost this stuff by, I think, a bunch of, like, for Drake. And that's why I kept talking about it.
But
so it was
the fact that he pulled the line back, acceptable. Right. I didn't see anybody giving him shit for cutting the line, but he left. It was like he had to talk to the officials for whoever handles the halftime show for the NFL. Mm-hmm. It's like, look, you really can't do this. But you can leave the A minor line. That's the compromise. Okay, great. That's the one everyone sings anyway. So, anyway, I pulled a clip. It was an amazing performance. Let's check it out.
Like I was still watching it live.
It's fantastic. I love this song.
And it's an A minor. I need to buy one of these things.
I'd like to have him come back next year and perform all his songs in just that fashion.
With an automaton?
Yeah. Amazing, right?
So funny. I always love those things.
Philadelphia won. Good on them.
Yeah.
It's fun that they won, what was it, like the year after Jason Kelce retired?
Yeah, Jason Kelce retires and then they win.
He had the chance to beat look, I know they won a few years back, but this was a chance to beat his brother. And he's like, I think I'm done. And then all of a sudden his team goes to win and kicks the shit out of his brother. Right. So he doesn't have those bragging rights anymore.
Nope. Sorry.
But check out Philadelphia here in true fashion.
Oh, there it is. I was wondering if they burnt it down.
Oh, yeah. They were like...
And this is great. You show this to someone who doesn't understand Philly, and they would think that they lost the Super Bowl. No, they're celebrating a win.
Yeah, these guys are swinging bicycles at the cops. They're just taking their bikes and just look at that. The cop threw the bike back at that guy. They apparently stole laundry from somewhere, and they just set up a pile, and they were burning it in the middle of the streets. They greased all the poles ahead of time, but it does nothing.
It never matters.
See,
it never works.
The delivery guy is just hucking his bike at law enforcement. Look, they took... It's whatever the tool is that thieves would use where they would saw off the poles for like parking meters. They took down whole traffic poles and they're now congoing it through the crowd like that clip of those guys, the guys in Africa dancing while they have the coffin on their head and their arms are moving around.
I love that footage. Yeah,
you just want to add that music to this as they're just congoing but look at this. And this is okay. Philly allows this. I mean, I know they frown upon the destruction, but Philly's not. Imagine any other city allowing this for a Super Bowl celebration.
They budget into the city budget. They're like, well, this is riot budgeting.
They're burning things in
so
effigy.
Happy.
There's crowds going crazy. There's drinking in the streets. Look, there's bonfires in the middle of intersections that are people are walking around with selfie sticks.
Cops are getting warmed by the fire.
Yeah, look, the cops over there. They're like, fuck, I'm standing by the bonfire. If I go down 2 blocks, the wind chill around these buildings is insane. Look at all this. Oh, God. Sell fireworks. There were things that were blowing up. Like, I don't know if it's in this montage, but a guy had a box that was, like, I guess, shooting Roman candles, and the box launched itself and hit another guy in the head while it was still shooting. God. The guy took the box and hooked... While it's still shooting fireworks back into the crowd, it landed in there and kept going. Like, it didn't miss a beat.
Stupid.
Yeah.
It reminds me when the Dodgers won the World Series, there was footage of this guy who was, like, lighting fireworks and forgot to let go of one, and it blew up in his hand. And then, like, you could see him, like, bleeding everywhere, and everyone's just like, yeah, the Dodgers won. I'm like, you guys are so stupid.
Right. Look at they have the garbage trucks set up. Usually they're filled with, like, sand or cement or whatever to be, barriers.
Yeah, but in Philly, they just call them trucks.
Yeah, they're just there, and everyone's surrounding these trucks like these trucks are just a minor inconvenience. Like, nothing here is really going to hurt anything that's going on here.
Jeez.
Look at all these people. I mean, good on them for passionate sports fans, passionate city, for all of that. But
that's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
That behavior is just garbage.
it's great when it's not your city.
Bitter.
It's great to watch.
Right? Yeah, it's fine because I don't have to deal with it.
But here's also the thing. Other places can't shit on this kind of behavior because you ever watch soccer riots or soccer celebrations?
Oh, yeah,
football and the rest of the world. Look at Ireland. Look at Spain. Look at France. Look at Belgium. Look at South America.
Hey, don't talk about Belgium like that.
Fuck you and your waffles. Down in Argentina and Chile, Brazil does this shit all the time. When even if FIFA is just playing down there, their team's eliminated, they still torch the place.
You realize somewhere right now, Gabby's listening live, wondering why she wasn't a part of the football talk when we're talking soccer.
Right. Well, Mexico does have its moments for its football, but you've been outshined by the rest of the world as far as total destruction to your homeland. Tropical Punch saying Eastern basketball games get super crazy too inside the arenas. I have not seen that, but I would love to find footage of that. Gabby's here. She heard. Okay.
Somewhere football is being spoken of.
Right. She knows.
I got a lot of feedback.
She's like Candyman. You say her name 3 times, she shows up.
I know. A lot of people were talking about Gabby's segment when we were talking about Showtime Pizza. Very big, like a lot of nostalgia hits from a lot of people that I talked to. So
yes, we are. That'll be put out. We're going to produce that up and put that out separately. Hopefully this weekend, if not early next week. We'll put out there. I'm trying to find part 1. I have to go back in the archives when we did this thing
where we talked about it originally,
and me personally discovered that Showbiz Pizza was a thing. I was not aware of it. We'll put all that together, put it all out for everybody to enjoy. Tropical Punch saying, with all the Euro players in leagues now, like Jokic and Luka, they've shown clips that are wild. All right, we got to look for that then.
Yeah, it's going to be our next rabbit hole we dive into.
All right.
Eastern European basketball.
I'm all about that stuff here. We have so many food stores, but we just don't have time for that. We have to move on.
We got a lot.
We have... I forgot to load the intro for that too, but the people who died.
Did we actually get an intro, or
I do. I have it somewhere.
They're dead.
So first you have on here Irv Gotti.
Irv Gotti
from founder of Murder Inc.
Yep, he passed.
Dead at 54. What from?
He's a big time music producer. Like I said, he started music. Murder
where did he
Inc.
die from?
I don't know. He's 54. And,
oh my God.
Sickle cell.
What?
Gotti.
Wow. I mean, you might as well say, well, that's old for them, and that would have been really horrible.
Let's see what did he die of?
What is wrong with you? Do I have any kind of racial drops? Let me see. Do I have anything here that can say, point out how... No, I guess I don't.
That's just rude. Just rude.
Maybe I need to make a tab that just says race relations.
Well, I mean, you were talking about how you couldn't do the eye thing.
Here we go.
White people are so scared of black people.
There you go. That's an old Ron and Fez bit.
That's a good one. Laryngeal cancer, so throat cancer.
Ooh, that's not a good... Probably smoking. Well, it has to be smoking, right?
Oh, never mind. That's John Gotti. What the fuck? All right.
You're terrible at this.
I'm done. Can't do it.
Right.
You can't start the show. I can't be on the show.
No, you can't be on the show here.
Homie, you're going to be getting all the BGs.
There we go.
Oh, my God. That guy, I think of every time I work with a guy who has been growing out his little tiny mustache.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of that video where he goes...
Do I have the
every
long
time.
form?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't. I just have the small one. Okay. Whatever. Moving on.
Anyway. Yeah, they didn't say why he died for him, which is,
No.
Wow. All right. But yeah, he passed. And then this next one just
will touch you in the cockles of your heart if you are of a certain age. Do you know the name John Irwin?
I do. He is synonymous with some of my favorite cartoons, some of my favorite toys. I mean, I would say he's up there with who's the guy who does Optimus Prime?
Oh, not Frank. That's Skeletor. No, isn't it Frank?
No, Frank Welker.
Peter
Megatron.
Peter
Cullen.
Peter Cullen. Thank you.
So he's up there with the Peter Cullens. He's the voice of He-Man. Well, he was. Oh, I love that sound every time.
I know that shitty animation company though. All right, you get it. Yeah, so the new He-Man movie that they're working on, Jared Leto is going to be Skeletor, which is gonna suck because he's terrible.
Until we meet again.
He's in the new Tron movie coming out this summer.
Yeah, Tron Ares.
Stop.
Which, by the way,
with him.
There's been no they did a quick little thing about it. They announced 9 Inch Nails is going to do the soundtrack, and it has been a barren wasteland of news from that. Like, they have buried it. I am so afraid that this is going to suck.
Yeah, it probably is. But
I love Tron.
Maybe it'll be like Lost Highway. The movie was kind of but the soundtrack was amazing.
I hope so.
Could be. Frankie Bronson, yes. The castle is pricey. Well, I have the castle, and I have Snake Mountain, the original ones that I had growing up.
A couple years ago, I recreated. I had a picture of when I was little and I first got Battle Cat, and I had a picture. I was wearing a little tank top. I got a Battle Cat. I was so excited. And a couple years back, I recreated it because when they re-released all the toys, when Kevin Smith's version came out, they started putting all like the older school versions. I rebought myself a Battle Cat, recreated it. It's been my happiest moment. I love the toys. I had Skeletor, Battle Cat. I mean, I even had some of the weird ones like Buzz Off was one of my favorites. That little bee. They had Leech Man, and then there was a few that really, really was weird. And one of them was Fisto, which they did feature in the Kevin Smith redo. And then there was another one that was really just like they were almost borderline racist. And this guy had a karate chop hand, and he was the Asian dude. And I'm just like,
yeah.
Wow, they really like. They really just were stretching it with some of these characters, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
They got into a series of characters that all had like a giant fist of something. Like Fisto had the big hand. Yeah, they had the Clawful, I think his name was.
I like the crab.
Yeah, he had the crab hand. Then there was like two other guys. One was that Asian guy, and I can't think of the other one that had the. So like one hand could do everything. It's like Iron Fist. Like, oh, that's your power. Who gives a fuck? You were talking about the He-Man stuff. Look at this.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, the giant old Skeletor Funko. Because they had this in the He-Man. I was like, nah, the Skeletor one's kind of cooler looking. So I went with that. But I have all the Funko Masters of the Universe stuff, the original Mattel, all of that.
Yeah, those were great.
I might have to sell that stuff. It's just sitting there. I'm not doing anything with it.
Get your kid to play. Make her watch She-Ra, which was another actually quality show at the time. And the remake was pretty good, too.
The remake wasn't bad. I know why a lot of people didn't like it, because it made all the characters gay in there. And that's why a lot of people had a hard time with it. But I thought the story was fine.
I liked it. I really enjoyed it. So, yes, he has passed, and that's sad. I'm starting to really realize my slow crawl toward death when everything that made my childhood happy.
You're running out of time to get your own toy made. I have mine. I have a Funko. Figures. I'm gonna have to call Funko and see if they'll make one for you.
I was gonna say, because I didn't get that Funko for you? Yeah, I did. I had it made in Hollywood.
There was one of them. The other one.
There was one of them. Yeah.
The other one
with
was
a little hoodie on.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. All right.
Hook a brother up.
A lot of shit's happened. We should talk about it. When we last left you, we were 2 weeks removed from the plane and helicopter crash in the Potomac.
Right.
Then there was a series of fires on the runway in Houston. Fire in a plane in South Korea.
There's a fire in Seattle with I think Japanese air.
Right. There was that the wings tipped, if you will, on SeaTac there. Then we had a bunch of train crashes that were happening.
Yep.
Well, true to form, of Jordan's lovely state of Arizona.
Got to be in the news.
There can't be any kind of national spotlight happening without Arizona trying to recreate their own version of it to get into the news. Now, I will reiterate, I have said this for the last several years, and it took a while before Jordan had to admit defeat and say, oh my God, I think you're right. Arizona is just constantly trying to grab a headline after the fact of everyone else did. We saw it with the election. They were the last state to give in on that, on the finalizing the, because they were a swing state, right?
Yeah, they were considered a swing state.
So I think you guys were the last one to finalize it so they could seal off the election entirely. But you were the first to make attention with that kid on the line at, what was it? University of Scottsdale?
ASU.
All right. Where he said, oh, I'm voting for Trump because I saw him on Joe Rogan. And that became the theme of the night. Anyway. Right? So Arizona has to get their foot into the water for everything going on. Well, this is no different because we've seen a lot of plane incidents happening lately. Arizona said, all right, how do we get in on this? How do we
one up the air traffic controller issues?
So a plane landed, had faulty gear or something like that, and hit a parked plane just off of a runway. The most convoluted way of having an air disaster.
On the ground.
Arizona figured it out. Let's take a look at the footage here. So this is Scottsdale, right?
Yes, this was in Scottsdale. Now, for clarification, this week we've had what's called the Waste Management Open, which is basically the big golf tournament here in Scottsdale. So it's been drunken white people, craziness. It's Arizona's known for partying way too much for golf. So that's what was going on this week. And that's why I think these planes were coming into Scottsdale, especially when we find out whose plane was involved.
Okay. So if you look in the upper left of the runway here, it's hard to see because everything is beige and awful in this area. But you see the plane landing and you can see it moving across the top of the screen. It's just, the air brakes are on. It's just trying to slow down. It's already landed, so you think it's okay. At some point, I guess it tripped over a pebble. I don't know what was on the runway there.
Scorpion there.
Yeah, it hit a scorpion and started spinning in a 360 fashion.
They're slippery.
It hit a pothole, and
there's a tumbleweed on the runway, so we had to ditch it.
The legs started to give out that were holding the wheels here. Now, at this point here, towards the right side of the screen, you see it hits something, and now it's like part of the airplane is scraping across the tarmac there, right? Is that where that smoke is coming from?
I believe so. You can see it like happen right in the top right-hand corner. It starts to slow a little bit, and then you see a big puff of smoke.
It looks like the back landing gear gave out, so the tail is scraping?
Possibly. Yes.
Okay, so this is just showing you as it's starting to go right there. Now it goes off screen. You see the smoke.
Right.
This shot here, you'll see it coming from the top left as it's coming down the runway there. It can't stop. There's just
so comical looking, and I feel bad. Someone died in this, but oh my God.
There's a plane minding its own business, not even running, just sitting off to the side. Just near the runway there, and this thing somehow just decides, oh, I'm going to swerve off the runway proper, and maybe if I hit that parked plane, that'll stop our forward motion. So here it goes, and boom. It just T-bones a parked plane, and it's still moving a bit.
Yeah. I think the momentum was carrying it. I don't think, obviously it's not,
right.
The engine's not pushing it forward at this point. I think it's a lot of momentum.
It looks like, all right, see when it hits the plane right there? I know it's to the side of that plane, but it looks like it pushed the plane off a ledge. Like the other plane that was parked sitting there minding its business is not visible anymore. You see the crashed plane that's still sort of moving a little bit, but the parked plane looks like it fell off an edge and it's not there anymore. So kudos to you, Arizona, for now, was the plane in motion or the parked plane the one that was owned by Vince Neil?
I don't know. I know that one of the planes, and this is what I was talking about, was owned by Vince Neil. So not only did we want to be in the headlines, we needed somebody famous to help lend some credence to it. So yeah, one of the planes happened to be Vince Neil's. I think a couple people got hurt. One person did unfortunately pass away. But yeah, Arizona's still just wanting to be a part of the story. And it's getting kind of ridiculous.
Tom from Alberta, the plane wasn't Dr. Flygood. No, it was not. Imagine, my God, if his plane was called that.
Dr. Flygood. Where's the destination? Home Sweet Home.
Was that them or Poison? No, that was
okay. Motley Crue.
Big Red Tower saying that is so Scottsdale.
It is.
And Old Restless, is this the disaster segment? Yes, it is. This is where we're at.
Look, they keep doing it. We'll keep reporting it.
All right, so that's plane crash number 1. Plane crash number 2.
How do we have to number these? This week.
This one has better footage and a more horrific story. This is the military plane that crashed in San Diego. Do we know what caused this crash here?
No, I haven't read too much on it. I just know that I was following the Alaskan one. I've been following the Scottsdale one. This one,
so the military,
this one just kind of came out of nowhere.
Been kind of hush on that. Okay,
so I'll look stuff up.
Well, let's take a look at it here. There's 2 pieces of footage. First one is a security camera that's overlooking. I don't know if it's like a chain of restaurants or if it's an apartment complex or something like that. But you see on the screen here, again, like most desert areas, very beige, brown, and bland, and cloudy.
San Diego.
Yeah, San Diego. Cloudy, rainy, if you will. There's a guy walking into a residence or a business right there on the left. But if you look in the center, this thing moves so fast, it looks like that quick clip of the meteor dropping into the ocean in Cloverfield.
Right.
Where you didn't see it in the movie theater until you went on YouTube and somebody slowed it down and said, oh, look, that's where the alien came from.
Right.
Right. That seems to be the same thing here. If you watch it. Whew,
oh, my God. Look how fast that's going.
Like a missile nosedive. Now, this next footage is close up watching it hit the water here. Look at this. Boom.
That is an amazing shot. Here, go back again. No, okay, go. Damn.
Look at that.
That thing just smashes
Full
right
speed.
in there.
I don't know how much of that plane is left because it vaporized right into the water there. Here's a slow down version of it. Look at that. Fully right in. Boom.
Wow.
That splash from the water looks like that old nuclear footage from Bikini Isle. Or whatever it's called, Bikini Atoll. Yeah.
Yep.
Where you just see the mushroom cloud start to develop and then fully develops from the explosion. Yeah.
So
horrific.
Yeah. So this was a U.S. Navy plane. It was called the EA-18 Growler. It's a variant of the Super Hornet.
Okay.
A charter fishing boat was the first on the scene and pulled the service members out of the water. Apparently, the 2 crew members on board were pulled out of the water and were fully conscious. The extent of their injuries are not disclosed, but they are in stable condition. They lived.
Good for them.
No fatalities on this one.
We just don't know what happened, right?
Yeah, right now they're keeping quiet on what caused the issue. This type of plane was involved in another crash back in October near Mount Rainier in Washington. Those Navymen died in that crash, but in this particular one, no, they were pulled out of the water by fishermen before the Navy's rescue can get out there. That's crazy.
Back to Bikini Atoll. That's how Godzilla started. They rescued that guy from fishing boats, and then all of a sudden Godzilla showed up.
Oh, let's see.
Frankie Bronson saying, wow, the safety tech is solid. Restless. Wow, water saved them. Yeah, I'm amazed. Or he's asking, did they eject? Do we know?
I'm seeing a picture right now. What looks like they may have ejected.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense than fucking screaming nosedive right into the water.
If they had been in that plane, they probably would have died.
Frankie's saying that plane is probably $20 million too.
Oh, most likely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
that's nuts.
Tom from Alberta, they failed to punch out Maverick. That is terrible, but a good pick.
Negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full.
Jared, if you look at the footage, the canopy does not appear to be there. So
yeah, unfortunately, because the web's stupid thing, I can't pull the picture. So I can give you the website. You can see actually, put it in our private chat. You can see one of the service members like parachuting into the water not far from where the crash happened and with like an orange parachute. It's crazy.
It's not an easy name to pronounce, but WMSR 734 in the chat
Steve.
is saying, Steve, they did eject. The fishing boats picked them up before the plane even crashed.
Are you serious? So they got out and the plane was just flying? I don't know. That's
the plane
weird.
kept circling. Wow.
Whoa.
And then I guess just ran out of fuel and took a nosedive. Fantastic. I mean, of a way to survive a crash that horrific, that's fantastic. Good for that those guys are alive, but who knows? Yeah, Frankie Bronson, do you think it was hacked? He also thought it was, I want to show it this side, like space lasers. I'm wondering if it was like an electronic pulse or something that
EMP
fucking shorted them out.
I don't know.
Tom was asking, was Vince Neil on that plane?
He also owned that plane. Vince Neil's planes are falling out of the sky.
Jared saying, good thing it hit the water and not the land. Right. More plane crashes should hit the water than they should the land. They need to learn.
Yeah, how dare they?
We got to teach them that in flight school.
Ditch into the water.
All right, moving on. The Alaskan flight number 3, was this flight that was leaving from one point in Alaska to going to Juneau? Or did it leave from Juneau?
It was, let's see, disappeared in Alaska. It was found about 35 miles southeast of Nome. So I believe that's where it took off from. Where they were heading, I don't know for sure.
So there's no footage of this, but where it disappeared was the halfway point from where it took off and then going to Nome. It disappeared over the water. So when they couldn't get a signal at all, it hit a certain threshold where I guess you're undetectable based on your altitude. They thought it was lost at sea. And then it turns out it wasn't lost at sea at all. It was it crashed into a mountain range.
Yeah. It was found 34 miles southeast. They lost it. They didn't know where to find it. And then they did find the wreckage. This looks like it was trashed. Like they smashed hard. Trying to find
it looks like that scene from Alive where the plane crashed into a mountain in the dead of winter.
Yeah
No survivors, 10 people on board.
1 pilot, 9 passengers.
I'm not seeing, does it say what they believe the cause was?
Let's see, they just operated Boeing, disappeared. Some kind of event which caused them to experience a rapid loss of elevation and rapid loss in speed. That's all they're saying. So they don't have an official cause yet. They're just saying something happened and it caused them to basically just drop.
Got it. All right. Well, that 3 more than we needed after last few weeks of nonstop aircraft issues.
Mm-hmm.
What also we are not don't have a shortage on? Train crashes.
Gotta love them.
Still happening. This footage comes from Salt Lake City. That's Utah, for those in the know.
Heard they have an okay hockey team.
This lady somehow wasn't paying attention and missed the fact that the gates dropped while crossing a train track, or she just ignored it. She gets trapped in the middle between the tracks and the arms. And her way of dealing with this is mind-blowing. I want to take a look at this. Take a look at this footage here. Okay, so here's the surveillance footage. She gets in right as the gates are making like the pyramid and they're coming down, right?
Okay, so where are we looking? Are we looking to the left, right?
Top right here. This top right car, the white SUV.
The white SUV.
Okay, right? So she crosses over, but sees the arms cross on the oncoming traffic side.
So she has a clear...
She has a clear straight shot to go over the tracks unharmed down the highway. Now, from this footage, we're looking left to right. We can't really see much from the left, but the right shows some distance on the tracks. There's no train coming that way. Perfectly in the clear. All right. Now you could say, oh, the train's coming from the left. That's why she stopped. No, it's not. The footage shows you the train coming from the distance on the right in a little bit. She comes to a dead stop. Look at this. See the lights on? She backs up instead of just flooring it over the tracks.
Just going forward, yeah.
She backs up, and then hits the arm, the security arm. She's trying to figure out, look, the car's behind her, like, what the fuck is she doing? They move. She's trying to push back, trying to break the arm to get her off the track. She's still sitting there. I can't figure out
now
for
the
life
front end
me.
of her car is over the track. She's backed into the arms and are bending him backwards, but has not done anything. And now she's exiting her vehicle completely.
Right. So look, she backs up. She realizes that the arm is not going to lift. She can't break it, or maybe she doesn't want to break it. I don't know. She thinks she's far back enough that the train's not going to hit her.
Could you imagine you're sitting in that truck behind that person just going, what the fuck is going on?
If I was that truck, I would have hopped that medium and did a quick U-turn right away because I know what's going to happen next.
Right. Like, I need to move my car. Something bad about that.
If that car gets hit, pieces of that car are going to come flying into mine and either kill me or whoever else is in the car with me. So, here we are. Lady gets out of her car, walks away, abandons the car. Because now we see on the right side, the train's coming. She just leaves the car. Instead of flooring it, there's no arms on the other side. There's no gates there to prevent her from crossing the other side. She would have been perfectly fine. But she caused this. Now here comes the train. Passenger train, barreling down the track. Look at it, and boom. Severs the front of the car and then forces the car into the pole that holds the railroad crossing gates. Train keeps going. Car is totaled. Poles down everywhere. Like, this all could have been avoided. I don't know what else to call her but retarded. I don't know what to do here. I can't say, well, she panicked and she made the decision she thought was safe. She stopped in the middle where no trains were coming and backed into this thing. You're muted.
She had a good minute from when she started this process.
Yeah.
To go forward. And somehow she's still... It's ridiculous.
Yeah. This all could have been avoided. Now, there's times when you're not paying attention or you're trying to run over. There's no way insurance is going to go, miss, you could have just kept going.
Not with this footage.
There's no way she's going to get anything from this car. In fact, she's going to get sued by anybody else who got hurt and the train company.
Right.
The train had $100,000 worth of damage.
Jesus.
I don't even know what her car damage was, nor do I care. But she just she left. I think she went to go get a smoothie somewhere. She walked over. Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm going to call and get a ride home. This is for naught. Tom from Alberta saying natural selection was foiled. Oh, Giddles is in the chat. She's going to cross. She's going to cross to the other side. All right. She was right about there to do that. Big Red Tower saying Utah has some of the dumbest drivers in the universe. We can prove it. Yeah, there's a lot of traffic accident videos that are from Utah. Also from Washington State.
I have seen a lot of Washington State.
We watched that clip last week of the Auburn area in Washington where the truck didn't even decide to back up. Fat guy got out of the cab and just kind of jostled over the tracks and turned around to watch the train demolish the truck.
Sheesh.
Unreal. So I'd like to say that was the only train thing that happened. It's not. Let's go to the magical land of Pennsylvania.
Ooh, where vampires are.
The SEPTA line.
Oh, yeah, that's different.
If you don't know what that is, it's the southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority, I believe. This train wasn't really an accident, but more of a spontaneous combustion.
SEPTA train suddenly erupts into flames during the busy evening rush in Delaware County. Hundreds of passengers forced to evacuate as emergency crews arrived on the scene near the Crumlin station.
Now, the train had stopped. It was at a full stop. It hit nothing. Passengers were just getting on and off as you do at a train station. And then somehow it just burst into flames.
The cause of the fire still under investigation.
I'm getting real tired of these Super Bowl celebrations. Like, we get it. You won. Move on.
Philly's burning trains and they're going roaring down the track like that scene in War of the Worlds.
Right.
The train just kept going. The arms kept going down, but everybody was burnt and dead and the train just didn't know how to stop.
Investigation tonight. Thursday night, and the big story in Action News is the scary moments aboard that Wilmington Newark line. The SEPTA Regional Rail train was carrying 350 passengers when the fire broke out. And tonight's
his accent is driving me nuts.
Yeah, there's something about it. I was just thinking that
passengers when the fire broke out.
The big story tonight.
He's trying to sound like what was the guy who did Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous?
Oh, Robin
Leach.
Robin Leach.
Listen to this.
350.
Go back.
The SEPTA Regional Rail train was carrying 350 passengers.
Passengers.
It's Black Walter Cronkite.
Or is he trying to be like Charlton Heston in the Ten Commandments? Like he's Black Moses?
When the fire broke out in tonight's service.
Like if that's not a rap
suspended.
name, I don't know.
Action News reporter Brianna Smith live at the scene with the very latest. Brianna.
Rick, SEPTA says it was...
She's shaking her head like, you idiot. All right, yes.
I honestly, I'm not going to lie. I was really hoping she was like Latina so she could like do the emphasis on her name and really make you upset.
So it was fully packed, but thankfully there are no reported injuries at this time. And you just missed it. Crews towed that damaged train out of here to evaluate it. And now SEPTA is trying to determine how the fire started. But
like
they
Walter
say
Cronkite.
People were alerted by the smell of smoke. Fierce flames and thick plumes of smoke poured from underneath this SEPTA train carrying about 350 passengers on Thursday night.
It smells better than the train did.
The train was engulfed in flames, but by that time,
urine
passengers fortunately had been evacuated. Our crew had been evacuated as well.
SEPTA spokesperson Andrew Bush says this 6-car train was traveling from Philadelphia to Wilmington when it caught on fire near the Crumlin station in Ridley Park around 6 p.m. However, passengers say they noticed a strange scent shortly after leaving 30th Street Station.
Really? The scents from the train were not the ones that were causing alarm?
Damage would have been worse. However, the train was coming from Philadelphia, so most of it was soaked in urine anyway.
Nobody goes into car 3 for a reason, because that's where the homeless defecate.
I kind of smell like this weird, kind of smoky, like a...
Is that the younger sister from Growing Pains?
Sulfury kind of smell. And I kind of just thought it was like the train normal stuff, because it always kind of smells sulfury, but yeah, it was getting really...
Wait, who's the girl
already smells that way.
Who's the girl from The Last of Us?
Right, yeah, it's her.
Yeah.
Strong, especially as we got to Crumlin.
I started to smell it too after a little while. I think we got...
This is the worst part of the news, when they have to go for eyewitness. It's not like eyewitness commentary from people involved in the event. It's just, Can you give us your thoughts on this thing here? It's just padding.
Well,
we need to
on fire.
This needs to be a 45-second vignette. No, it doesn't. You could get more shit crammed in there, even more commercials, if you cut out talking to the man on the street people. No one cares. Look at him. Look at this guy.
Look at Alvin.
He's that teacher or guidance counselor nobody wants to talk to.
About 2 stations down from here, and then people were really starting to notice it. People looking out the windows, getting a little,
it's Nathan
starting to panic a little bit.
Some passengers say due to the odor, the train stopped and passengers were advised to move to the back.
Yeah, it happens all the time. Once again, homeless defecation, drunken people coming back from Eagles games or the 76ers. Just, you see the motion of the train. There's just alcohol or urine running down the aisle of the train back, depending on where the train's stopping. You see it go squishing to the back.
Remember, wasn't it Brian who was on that flight where the bathrooms broke and all the water was
going down the middle? No, it was Jay from Masters of None. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Where the pee was running down the aisle.
Then they stopped again to evacuate.
It seemed like they thought they could keep the train moving, but obviously that wasn't the case.
Yeah, it was on fire.
Why'd they come back to this guy?
Investigating and reviewing the steps that were taken, but passengers are grateful workers acted quickly to get them out.
I think they stretched this piece because they wanted to keep showing different angles of the train burning.
Harm's way.
And I think they do an amazing job of really.
And then they brought her back. She doesn't need a second appearance.
Is our number one priority for our passengers.
He's some sort of official, so you got to talk to him a couple times.
And for our employees. Fortunately, we have an outcome where we don't have any serious injuries, which is pretty incredible considering what we've seen.
Gittles called this segment. He says it's all came crumbling down. If that wasn't so hyper specific, that could have been a show title.
Yeah, but we're gonna segment this out.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Let's see.
Any more disasters?
Casey said, "Oh, she's the friend from Adventures in Babysitting." That's a great poll. Good on you.
I love that.
All right. Tom said, at least it wasn't filmed vertically. That is a good point. All right. So there's a train incident for you. Let me tell you about a guy on a horse. So I'm
afraid of horses, right?
From what I understand, this guy, I guess, was some sort of law enforcement. And he was riding a horse along a highway in West Texas. And it's believed, from what I was piecing together, I believed that like this was a funeral procession. So there's a person or a couple in a pickup truck, as there are in Texas, and they're filming the police line on the side of the highway, and she's trying to get footage of the guy riding the horse. Again, this is for a funeral procession, which almost led to another funeral during the procession. Take a look at this. You can see right there on the screen, center left, because he's a little bit away as she's coming up close to him there. You see them on the horse. And you see a couple of squad cars with their lights going very slow, so they're preventing traffic. There he is. Right there.
Oh, yeah, that's
look at him go. Look at him.
Whoopsie daisy.
Wow.
For those on the radio, they're on he's riding on the side of the highway 290, and I guess either he's not paying attention or the horse didn't give a fuck.
Horse trying to kill him.
The horse. Oh, that was a good.
Oh my god, that's a great pause.
That's a great pause right there. The horse just skims the pole with the traffic sign. The guy hits the pole dead on. And it's that old thing where, remember sometimes when somebody got hit, their shoes go flying off?
Yeah.
And we used to talk about that on O&A all the time. Why the shoes? How come the shoes constantly go flying off when somebody's hit that way?
Oh, man.
This is what happened, because he comes flying out of the stirrups as you hear that sickening thud.
It's like someone almost like hit him with like, like you were riding, like the guy was riding a horse and someone had was around the corner with a shovel.
Right.
And they just swung it at the guy just at the right time.
Right.
Oh, that sound.
Big Red Tower is just riding clank.
Clank.
That's exactly what it is. But look at him. He's completely horizontal. He's completely horizontal now, right? He's like, his hips are on the ass end of the horse. His legs are free. His arms are free. He's completely horizontal. Look to the right of the sign here. His hat is going in a different direction.
Right. Those are his shoes. Yeah.
Than where he is. All right.
Oh.
And tumbles down.
He's
look
down.
at that. Yeah. He's cheerleader spread eagle.
He's
upside down as his head
already.
is going this way. His legs are going that way. And I'm in the middle saying, what do you want from me?
Oh.
I think we need to hear. It's a horrible incident.
You got to hear it.
The update on that is the gentleman. Here it is here. Law enforcement officer on a horseback collided with a road sign along Highway 290 in West. Not West Texas. Highway 290 West in Texas. The incident occurred during what appeared to be a funeral procession of a fallen deputy. The specific location was near the Blanco County line. The officer and horse sustained minor injuries. How is that a minor injury with a sickening thud like that? Frankie Bronson saying, this was for a movie, right?
No.
Right?
Right?
No. Here we go.
This is how I die. Like this is how my funeral is going to be. Oh, yeah, I get killed by the horse. So if you go back and get it right before he goes out, you could see that he ducks his head. Like he does something to cause, because look at him, he's tilted over. He's riding upright right here. You go up, just look at that.
Okay. In light of this, it
here?
looks like he saw the sign, so he was going to duck down. But he ducked, if he ducked to the left, he would have been perfectly fine. But he ducked to the right and essentially had that scene from, what's the Toni Collette horror movie? Giddles, you know the one I'm talking. Yeah, Hereditary. He had his own Hereditary moment right here because he tucked the wrong way and head meets pole.
Well, I think it's because in Texas it's illegal to actually go back and to the left. So he had to go down and to the right.
Well, we'll find out soon. That information is going to be released to everybody.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Again, last time. Right, there you go.
I'm glad he's alive because then I can laugh.
Because he's alive, I'm thinking I can zoom in HD horizontally. Make that a quick button bar clip for when somebody makes a bad joke that doesn't go anywhere. And it's just boom. That's the noise that happens, and then follows with a. There you go. Well, glad he's okay. And then finally we we had another story here too, another national story.
Survived.
No, I've got two more things here. Shit, I thought we had a lot for disasters this week.
A lot of disasters.
Currently, right now. There's a massive snowstorm coming through the center of the country, the northeast part of the country. It's coming this weekend. A lot of snow, a lot of ice, what have you. This is the third snowstorm we've had in about a week and a half in this area. And this one's coming this weekend. But apparently in California and the west coast of these United States has, I forgot what they called it, but it's essentially like a storm in the air that's pushing all this water into the west coast, and it's causing snow blizzards, it's causing landslides, mudslides. The areas that were all burnt out in California are in super trouble now because everything is burnt out and destroyed. There's nothing to prevent these mudslides from happening. Let's check out the footage here.
Lester, good evening. And unfortunately, this atmospheric river is already causing
That's what it's called. Atmospheric river.
It's up and down the Pacific Coast Highway, and that landslide risk only going up as this river moves in.
Moves in.
This river.
Wait for the transition. Then it goes.
Moves
and then
in.
I love that. It's like you always see. You're waiting for the vignette to hit, and then all of a sudden, I just would love to see when they think it's done, like he's arguing with the sidekick or something that's helping them with his makeup. Here we go.
Tonight, a massive winter storm system blamed for this frightening scene outside.
100 plus car vehicle pileup in the Oregon area.
Portland, Oregon. More than 100 cars and trucks piling up in snowy conditions.
And catching on fire. It's like trains, planes, vehicles now, automobiles.
Horses.
Yeah, that's what we need. We want to see
equine.
Yeah. We want to see an equestrian event where a horse suddenly explodes.
Oh, I'm sure there's plenty of
some catching fire.
There is a vehicle on fire in the westbound. It is fully involved. It's nasty.
Rescuers reporting injuries and multiple victims stuck.
I love when people do that too. That scene right there. You know, a massive blizzard and ice storm's coming, so people put out the arms of their windshield wipers like that's going to help. Like that's at least, when I scrape off the windshield, I can still use my wipers. No, you can't. You have a layer of ice this thick. You might as well just let it be buried under the ice. It does nothing. I know, Jordan, this is not news to you.
I don't even know what I'm looking at right
Exactly. Now. You see right there in the front, the windshield, they extend the arms, thinking that that's going to help when it comes to scraping their car down from the snow and the ice. It does nothing.
What is this white sand I'm looking at?
And multiple victims stuck inside vehicles in a collision that shut down Interstate 84 entirely. In Southern California, that same system unleashing an atmospheric river of rain. Near Los Angeles, charred hillsides from the recent wildfires facing a new threat.
Evacuation for the residents.
Yeah, these people
again.
These people who didn't, who evacuated and didn't have their houses destroyed, are evacuating again because now mudslides are going to happen from what used to be the Pacific Palisades.
Officers going door to door following mandatory evacuations, stretching from vulnerable neighborhoods in Altadena to Malibu.
We expect these heavy rains to last through Friday morning, which puts burn areas at particular risk for landslides, mud flow.
Landslide risk.
I just
fucking
neighborhoods in
out there singing.
Yeah. Hillsides from the recent wildfires facing a new threat.
Evacuation for the residents.
Officers going door to door following mandatory evacuations, stretching from vulnerable neighborhoods in Altadena to Malibu.
Yeah, so if we remember the map, Altadena is over here.
Pasadena.
And Pasadena, Pacific Palisades here, and then Malibu right here on the water. So it's stretching. This whole area that was charred is going to be slip sliding away, to quote a song. Hey, it's Hollywood agent Rob Stark. Rain stopped fine. It's fine here, you ghouls. It's not. It's what's on the national news right now. And Rob, I think they would know better than you.
Yeah, what do you know being on the ground there?
Fucking elitist.
Go back to sending
these
me workout
heavy rains
videos
to last through Friday morning, which puts burn areas.
Real personal side note for Jordan and I. Rob, if you're around later, we need to talk to you.
We have things to discuss
about an agent meeting that you're going to need to know about. So
you'll have to be there.
Okay.
Stay up, you psycho.
Particular risk for landslides, mud flows.
Conditions so bad. The EPA announced they're halting crucial cleanup efforts until the rain subsides.
It's wet.
They sent the cadaver dogs home.
They don't like to get wet.
You think some hot dog place out there in poor taste has a cadaver dog?
Yeah, Pink's.
Yeah, they would do it. Is Pink's like that Chicago place, the Wiener Circle, where they shit on you?
Where they're just No, they're actually really nice.
Oh, okay.
Me and actually Rob and I went there.
Right.
Up vulnerable areas to keep hillsides and dangerous runoff in check.
All right, this is dumb too, because they're putting out those cement barriers, right? They have cranes take them off flatbed trucks for what used to be all those expensive Malibu homes.
Right.
They're putting it on the other side of the highway. So it's like, well, this way the rubble of these mudslides will, the rubble from the houses that were all destroyed won't get damaged by the mudslides coming down the mountainside here, but we're willing to lose giant chunks of the Pacific Coast Highway, but that rubble has to stay intact because, it's still private property. Why didn't they put that on the other side of the highway to try to save the highway too?
I don't know, but I'm so hungry every time you say mudslide. I keep thinking of TGI Fridays.
No, you're just a drunk. I want a hot dog.
It's not 10:30 in the morning.
Hillsides and dangerous runoff in check, but the real test lies over the next 24 hours. With rock slides already shutting down parts of the PCH, for those who call this area home, a new wave of anxiety setting in.
Definitely
new wave of anxiety.
I'm sorry, but all the houses burned down. No one's calling that area home right now.
No.
For this, my main concerns if there are landslides in the PCH that could possibly jail us in here.
Burns
jail us in here. Then move.
Own fears amid a new weather nightmare. Morgan Chesky, NBC News.
Okay, there you go.
Weather nightmare.
So yeah, California
can't catch a break.
Nope, but they're going to catch a mudslide any day now with all that rain. Thanks to that atmospheric river.
Which is, I swear to God, they're making new terms up for the weather.
Remember,
I think that may be the first time I've ever heard of
a few years ago, they made up bomb cyclone.
That's true.
And then in the 90s,
here in Arizona, the word haboob, I swear to God, is only 10 years old.
What is that?
The dust storms, those big dust storms.
Oh, like from the Mummy that comes in the face.
Yeah, when the Mummy comes in during the summer,
swallows your city whole. Yeah.
Yeah. And
but back in the 90s, remember they invented El Nino.
El Nino. Yeah, Chris Farley.
Yeah, which is Spanish for the Nino. All right. I had one last disaster video for you, and I just closed out of it. This is just a simple video. I'm not sure of the location, but a man got hit by a truck. Let's take a look.
What? Oh, wait. Hold on. Go back.
Okay. So what we're seeing...
I didn't know where to look, and all of a sudden there's a man in a windshield.
It's not even dash cam footage. It's a guy... sitting, I'm guessing it looks like a pickup truck, right?
Yeah.
Has his phone facing out in front of him. There's another truck parked in front of him a little further down. It looks like there's a car that is in need of service on the opposite side of the road. The hood is up, so maybe the battery's dead, overheated. Who knows? This guy is crossing the road while an oncoming truck is coming. Not paying attention. Maybe he's got his headphones on. Maybe he's listening to this show. I don't know what he's doing. But you can see here as the guy's just recording something, and this guy's going to walk right into traffic.
Oh, my God.
The guy gets up and walks around to the side of the truck. They're like, are you guys okay? The guys in the truck are like horrified.
This is why this frustrates me, and not because this happened. Whatever. A week ago, I played volleyball with my kid, and I stretched
and this
the
same
muscle
thing
in
happened?
my leg.
Your kid went flying into the windshield?
My leg, and I have been in pain for a week. And this guy got hit by a car, gets up and walks away.
Not just hit by a car, turned into a projectile, went flying into an industrial windshield. Landed on the ground in front of the truck, got up like it was no big deal, and looks like he's walking over to the driver's side like, you guys okay? You cool? We good? Let's watch it again.
I legitimately need a supercut of just the guy with the horse, the sound of him hitting the pole, this guy's sound hitting the windshield, and we just create just the supercut of all these noises.
Right.
Here, do it again.
Tropical Punch saying, he must have been drunk. You can't get hurt if you're drunk because you go limp. That is possible. Jared is saying he's probably drunk or high for that kind of recovery. Seems to be the consistent. Yeah, let's see what this. Ricocheting off two cars seems like something you're not supposed to stand up after.
Right?
It's like maybe lay down and wait for.
I was down for a week.
Wait for the ambulance to show up here. You've earned a rest. Of course, let's watch it one more time.
Of course.
Jeez. What? You want to watch it again with the volume raised? Yeah, we can do
course.
that. Okay, here we go.
He gets up.
Unreal.
Fantastic.
Unreal.
More, it's Eric Nagel. It's Eric Nagel. Next. It's Eric Nagel. Follow the show on all social medias at It's Eric Nagel for ways to watch or listen to the show, both live and on demand. Go to itsericnagel.com. We're back with It's Eric Nagel.
Segment 2 of the show. Eric Jordan here with you, going over television, movies, streaming updates, all of that stuff, so you know what's going on and you don't have to waste your time looking up that nonsense. We start this segment off every time by going over stuff that we've watched. Jordan, what have you watched?
On Disney Plus, I've been watching Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. It's a new animated Spider-Man series. I watched, I think, the first 5 episodes. It's actually really good. They've kind of done a few things, which of course is making the internet upset, because why not? We're already just complaining about everything. Where Norman Osborn's black, Harry's black. I think the Lizard, she's Indian. Like, who cares? The stories are fun. The animation's pretty cool. I like the theme song. They've kind of done a hip hop theme song, but they've also used some of the old 60s Spider-Man sound to it, which, it's really good. So I highly recommend that one. That was a fun one. I watched the
real quick before you go on, the guy who's playing Norman Osborn.
Yeah.
We've had him on the show a couple times.
Ew.
Yeah. Coleman Domingo.
Yeah, Coleman Domingo.
We had him on. He was doing a guest spot on Lucifer. He was playing popular character Father Frank, and he was a priest that Lucifer was friends with for the TV show. But then he was on the other Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead.
Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah, we've had him on a couple times. Great guy.
He's really nice. There were rumors that they were going to use him to replace Jonathan Majors as Kang. He went out and said, "Look, and he came out and said, "Look,
I said that not about him, but we said that a long time ago.
Just replace Kang, yeah.
Just replace him." And they're like, "Well, we're going to move on." That's an option too.
Well, the rumor is that they may bring him back. They might do a James Gunn bit where they've waited long enough, and then
no,
bring
it's not
him in.
going to be him. I heard something that seems probable that during somewhere between Avengers 5, is it? Yeah, Avengers
Secret
5,
Wars?
which is 5 is Doomsday.
And
6 is Secret Wars. Between there, the Council of Kangs might be back.
That makes sense, especially since Kang, I believe, is a Reed Richards kid,
right?
Or like a version of it.
And we saw the Council of Kangs. What was it? The cut scene at the end of Loki.
It was either end of Loki or was in Quantumania or something.
Wherever it was.
Whatever.
I said when they got rid of Jonathan Majors, you have the council. It doesn't need to be him. It could be you could pick anybody now because you have that council. You just pick a different Kang. There is an alligator Kang. Just like there was an alligator Loki. There's the King Tut looking Kang in there. Like there's all of that stuff. Just pick somebody from there, get a new actor, keep the story going. They went the Doomsday route, but whatever. I heard it seems probable, but again, any time we hear some of this stuff, unless it's agreed upon everywhere, a lot of it is just speculation. But it seems probable. I saw that.
Replace him with Lee Majors.
Why not?
I saw Lee Majors in...
If we had the sound effects, the
Lee Majors actually made a cameo in... what was that stuntman movie that just came out with Ryan Gosling? The Fall Guy.
Fall Guy.
He was in it. He did a little thing at the end. And Lee Majors, I mean, at his age, I still think he could be king. That would be great.
There's a scene in The Simpsons where Marge is fantasizing hanging out with Lee Majors.
Yeah.
And Lisa wakes up and she goes, "Lisa, stop." She's playing her saxophone. She goes, "Stop blowing my sex. I mean, your sax." And then she says something to Lisa, whatever. And then she just closes her eyes. And you don't even see the dream sequence anymore. She's just sitting there with her eyes closed, and off in the distance, you hear the $6 million man noise again.
So good,
so brilliant.
So the next thing I watched was that Will Ferrell comedy, if you want to call it that. You're Cordially Invited, Reese Witherspoon. It's terrible. It is a terrible movie.
He has not put out good movies in a while.
It is not. It's not even that funny. It's just a series of misadventures between him and Reese Witherspoon because they both booked a wedding venue by accident. Like it's so
as
stupid.
One does.
Like, it's not even worth free. Like it's just so bad. And the next bad thing I watched in the series of bad things that I watched, Flight Risk with Mark Wahlberg, directed by Mel Gibson. That movie was terrible. Like, just not worth watching. He's the one where
Why
he's
was it terrible? Because it was boring?
It's just, the story was incoherent. It was boring. It has nothing to do with Mel Gibson. I can care less. I like the Mel Gibson movies. Passion of the Christ, best comedy I've ever seen. Apocalypto, really cool. But this movie was just not good. Like, it was just really bad. The third bad movie I watched was the new Wolfman, done by the Blumhouse label. It could have been good. I feel like everyone tries to make things their own, and the Wolfman makeup wasn't great. The reveal wasn't that great. I feel like they showed way too much in the trailers.
Jordan, did you know the Wolfman has nards?
The Wolfman does have nards, and I love that movie. I'll watch that one all the time.
Okay.
Fred Dekker movie.
Monster Squad, for those who don't know.
Yeah. And then the last thing that I ended up watching, it was after, not last week's show, but the week after, the week before, when they were doing Fire Aid, the concert. So after we had ended the show,
I watched that.
You had said, "Hey, they're doing the show and the concert." And I was like, "Yeah." I thought it was going to be short. This thing was like 6 hours long, and so at one point, you and I just started watching it, and we were doing running commentary all the way through. We caught what was it? The Nirvana.
The Nirvana
set,
reunion thing.
Fantastic.
I thought was great, but then after that. It was constantly just hey, let's bring downers and let's bring the level of energy down for the rest of the show.
Song after slow
the
song.
rapper who was on after that was terrible.
They did
even Chili Peppers were terrible.
Chili Peppers was bad.
Was
like
very
he just
bad.
had no energy. They were doing sad songs
and
under the
Kiedis
bridge.
Can't sing on pitch anymore. Like it's just who gave a fuck.
Yeah, Flea was naked.
The big pop was that they finally performed Under the Bridge, and you told me they haven't played that song in years.
I went to see them 2 years ago, and I'm like, okay, they're gonna play Under the Bridge. Finally. No Under the Bridge at all. Like they were like, we're done, lights up, and I'm like, fuck you. Like that was bad. And I swear to God, 2 years ago he was still in that boot, and like he just, you got money, get your foot fixed, man. Like stop wearing that boot.
Yeah, they didn't do anything higher energy with the Chili Peppers. It was all that schlock they did because they can't do anything anymore. Then there was a couple other acts that were very low key. Sting came on. Sting was good.
Was great.
Sting's song, not a lot of energy, and like the old Police songs, he's not up there anymore. Like Synchronicity or
right.
That kind of stuff. But he did some of his hits. He did his solo stuff. People loved him. What we thought was the end of the show was Stevie Wonder comes on. Stevie Wonder is fantastic all the time.
Sure.
Comes out there, he's doing his songs, very superstitious and what have you. At the end, Higher Ground. He's singing it. Sting comes out. Flea from the Chili Peppers, who also made that song popular from their cover of it, was out there playing. I'm like, this is amazing.
It was the best. I thought they should have ended the show
doing
there.
Higher Ground because it was a combination. It was almost as fast as the Chili Peppers, but had kept the funk sound of Stevie. Right?
Yeah, perfect.
Flea's dancing around with the bass, Sting singing too. Like, this is great. All right, it's done. They bring out Lady Gaga, who had a new song for this incident that was just let me just make you even more upset and displaced about everything that's going on here.
Such a bummer of an ending.
She
had
songs.
This giant hat on. She had no eyebrows or they were bleached, and she plays like slow song. And then she does that one from that movie that she was famous for. And then she did this, I wrote a new song. And I'm like, so you completely killed any momentum and you completely killed the interactivity of a concert.
When you're doing,
I'm going to play a song that you've never heard.
When you're doing
so
a benefit,
you have to sit on your hands.
Doing a benefit, especially of this scale,
the amount of ticket prices were?
You do the hits.
Yeah.
It's not a chance to be experimental. It's not a chance. Like Foo Fighters has Dave Grohl there. They have the right to be experimental because he brought back Chris Novoselic with him. So they were experimenting. Each Nirvana song they did was a different lead singer.
Yeah, they had the chick from
perfectly fine.
Sonic Youth. She was out there. She did a song, which, by the way, she's like 71. She didn't look like she was 71.
No.
They had Joan Jett.
Joan Jett I thought was great. And then even Grohl's daughter.
David Grohl's daughter, Violet, comes out and does... God, what song did she do?
Doesn't matter. In the sun,
it was fantastic.
In the sun. Wasn't that her? Mary.
I think so.
All Apologies.
All Apologies. That's right.
It
was fantastic.
Yeah.
All three songs. Perfect.
Yeah. It was just travesty.
And then after that, the momentum shifted just to nothing until Stevie Wonder and Sting and
Kim
all that.
Deal.
And
yes.
then they killed it.
Tom, thank you. From Sonic Youth, right?
She was from Sonic Youth.
Yeah. I watched that. I watched there's a new episode out tonight. I'll have to watch Severance season 2. I'm all caught up. I'm enjoying it. It's even weirder than the first season.
Yeah.
Then I watched. Really, I don't know what led me to do this, but then I watched Gladiator 1 and 2.
Do you like Gladiator movies?
I saw the second one was available to watch, and I was like, all right, you know what? I haven't seen the first one in God knows how many years. Let me rewatch it. Great movie. And then so when I was watching the second movie, I'm glad I did because there's a lot of callbacks to the first movie, right? So I understood everything going on. The second movie stunk to high hell. The two kids that were the co-emperors, those twinks, pissed me off to no end because it made me think, well, first it's the juxtaposition of the hierarchy of the Roman Empire versus the lower class of the Roman Empire and the guards, the gladiators, all of them, right? That level of warrior. The thing that went viral not too long ago, where that all guys think of the Roman Empire once a day or whatever the thing is. I have the original clip here. We're going to watch in a second. Is bullshit. I don't know why anyone gives a fuck about the Roman Empire. I'll tell you that after this.
How many times, like a week, or just how many times in general, do you think about the Roman Empire?
What about the Roman Empire?
Just anything about it.
Probably not a lot. Why?
Not a lot? When was the last time you thought about it?
Maybe a week or two ago?
A week or two ago.
This is all fake.
Was a very big part in history.
I know it went viral, but it's fucking fake.
About it?
Not a lot.
How often? Once every month?
Maybe 3 or 4 times a month.
You think about the Roman Empire once a week.
It has a lot of big, like, stories and lessons, like, within the Roman Empire of what to do and what not to do. So, yeah.
So you think about the Roman Empire once a week?
Sometimes, yeah. But not necessarily.
All right. Terrible. Obviously staged. And then it led off to a whole trend of other people talking about the Roman Empire. There was...
they did an SNL skit about it.
Yeah, there's that Rome song, right?
Yeah.
There was that. It was on the Today Show. It became a thing for a while. And I was thinking, like, if that was actually a legit thing, what about the Roman Empire is anyone fantasizing about? They're thinking gladiator stuff. They're thinking easy sex, access to women and riches and conquering, like that kind of shit. You're not. When you see any of these gladiator movies or stuff on Rome, if it's not about the advancements in architecture and warfare, those kind of things, everything else about the Roman Empire is complete garbage. The lands they're conquering, there's no value for life at any level. It's not just like, oh, there's no value for the peasant's life, so we can take it over and seize their riches and culture and all of those things. There's no value at that level. There's no value at the soldiers' levels. There's no value at the gladiators' levels, the slave levels, or even the hierarchy levels, because they're all incestuous and they're all killing each other anyway to become emperor or to become senator, to become any of those things. Everybody just wants to kill everybody. Instead of working to actually achieve a promotion or move up in the right ranks, it's, oh, I'll try that, and that doesn't work, I'll just kill the guy. And apparently it's a lot easier than you think, because earlier in all these movies, I don't know, he's got all those soldiers, he's got all these security guards around him, it's going to be difficult. Somehow, somebody manages to grapple up the wall to a ledge and then stabs a needle in the person's ear while they're sleeping, or poisons their food and their drink, or they bring some kind of debaucherous sexual situation involving either same sex or underage or whatever. It's all terrible shit that's going on during that time period. And while that's happening, somebody sneaks in and kills the person, right? So there's no value of life on any scale here. Where's the masculine part in this stuff that guys are thinking about? Because it's not the gladiator stuff. That gets pretty gay too. It's not the higher tier, because that's extremely gay and inbred. Where's the fantasy of thinking of this Roman Empire is fantastic? Because I see nothing. The aqueducts and the architecture, amazing. The Colosseum, of course. I don't give a shit about their cart-drawn catapults that they're using to launch, balls of fire over fortress walls. I do think it's amazing when they rain a hailstorm of arrows. That's terrifying. So maybe that's kind of cool. Everything else is just, who gives a fuck about this?
Sounds like you thought a lot about the Roman Empire.
It was during that second movie. I'm like, this just keeps getting worse. And I don't believe Denzel Washington had any real kind of character believement in this because he kept flashing his veneers. Every time he sat there, he'd smile. You'd see him like, those teeth are well crafted. Then it cuts to those two like incest twins and their skin's blotchy.
Caracalla and Getta.
Yeah, their skin's blotchy and pink. The blue veins are showing because they're almost translucent. Their teeth are just looking like they were chewing on rocks and gravel. There's nothing there that makes you think that any of this is like, I'd like to go back to that time period. None. So, fake video leads to a fake trend about movies that are very popular. I get it. About a lifestyle that is not glamorous or anything to be idolized at all. Now, I know at the end of all of this, I've wasted my time and it means nothing. I understand that. But I had to have some kind of work to show the fact that I went through all of this just to lead to there was no point to doing this at all.
I feel like there was no point to this movie. Like there really wasn't. Like to revisit it this.
He gave a speech at the end. The lost returning Prince of Rome,
Lucius,
to unite the 5,000 renegade troops with the 6,000 Imperial Guards. Like, they didn't have that. They were like, they're telling at one point, it's like, we shouldn't, I forgot Denzel's character's name.
Marquinius.
His head of their general, whatever, is telling him, he's like, not to worry. He's like, we know about the 5,000 troops. We can take it. That's all they have. No more. We can take them out easily. How many troops do we have? At least 6,000. Like, that's not if he said, look, we have 25,000 troops and they're 5,000, saying that you have at least 6,000 troops to fight 5,000 troops, there's going to be a lot of death up front where those numbers are going to dwindle probably within the first half hour.
Yeah, but most of them were just having unprotected gay sex. They had to put the hose on them.
They were! There's no underwear in that time. The first movie, not River Phoenix, Joaquin. It would be great if it was River Phoenix, but Joaquin Phoenix is trying to fuck his sister the entire movie.
Lucilla.
Right. Second movie, the two ginger twins. They're not.
Who, by the way, is, like I said, Joseph Quinn is one of the ginger twins. He's going to be the.
It's going to be Johnny Flash.
Storm. Johnny Flash. That's right.
Yeah,
I did it.
That's not his name, but I like Johnny Flash. The two twins there were obviously very twinkish, very leaning feminine, gay almost, but they've showed no interest in anything, at least as far as their movie story goes. Because they look like they're product of inbreeding and also sexual abuse. That's why they're mad with power. They want to see everybody die. Why is any of this attractive to anybody? Was my point.
Right.
Again,
who's
the architecture is fantastic. Look at the aqueducts. That's amazing accomplishment. Everything else, wipe it all out.
You just like to say aqueduct because it reminds you of going on a Disney cruise.
Reminds me of going to upstate New York and gambling on horses. It's called the aqueduct.
I know.
No. Yes. Rob's here. Do you think Eric ever saw 300? Yes. That was cool. Battle rhinos. They had giant rhinoceroti that were just going and storming through people. For as ridiculous as that movie was more believable than Gladiator 2. For 300, what were they, Persians?
Yeah. Well, the 300 were oh God, it's going to throw me off. They were fighting the Persians.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever they were. The last of the Mohicans, for all I know. Standing their ground.
Lewis in a skirt.
Yeah, they're just, been ready all to die or fall off a cliff. It's a fantastic movie. Gerard Butler. Can't go wrong with a schlocky movie with Gerard Butler.
Right.
Gladiator 2 was a major production.
Huge production.
Made a lot of money, I think, too. Completely pointless and stupid.
The Spartans. They were the Spartans. It's late. My brain's fried.
Fuck that movie. Fuck you in the Roman Empire. There was no reason for me to get that upset at that movie, and yet I did. Moving on. Out now in theaters. Going tomorrow. Captain America, Brave New World. Depending where you read and who you talk to, it's either going to be a disaster or it's going to be fantastic. Because they're already estimating that it's going to make $180 million, which I guess is its budget.
Yeah.
They're going to make it back this weekend. And then...
you say the reviews early on, I'm not saying one way or the other, but they're like it is all over the place. Like I can't get a gauge on whether people really like this or don't like it. It's going to be one of those things. I've been kind of rewatching some of the... Marvel big tentpole movies. So I just watched Civil War the other day. So yeah, I'm excited. I really want to see it. I'll try to see it this weekend so we can discuss.
I'm going tomorrow. I know Hollywood agent Rob Stark is going tomorrow. We're going to text you spoilers as they're happening, so it ruins it for you. What is Giddle saying? I'm excited for The Monkey.
It's a new movie called The Monkey from the same director that did Longlegs, and it looks really good.
Next week, though.
That's next week.
Yeah, that's in theaters. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one.
So in theaters this week, Captain America, Brave New World, Paddington in Peru, if you need a movie to take the kids out to.
Right.
I don't know. This was last week, but what is Heart Eyes and Love Hurts?
Love Hurts is Ke Kwan, the guy, the short round from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. It's his movie. I don't know much about it. I don't know if it's going to last because Captain America. And then Heart Eyes is one of those low budget horror movie productions that actually a lot of people are saying is really good.
Okay.
So I kind of want to go see it.
You and Giddles will see it.
Yeah, Giddles and I will probably see it.
Okay.
And we'll talk about it.
Video on demand, Wolfman. We had mentioned that earlier. Over on Netflix, Resident Alien Season 3. I don't know that show.
It's the one with Alan Tudyk where he's an alien. It's based off a comic. He's an alien.
Yeah, all right. I haven't watched that yet.
It's really funny. Like, I'm actually excited for this
one. All right, I'll have to go and start that.
It's fun.
Then Season 6, Part 3.
Right.
Of Cobra Kai. I think I forgot Part 2 of Season 6 of Cobra Kai.
I stopped caring when they
released the show already.
Episodes. Yeah, it's done after this, I think. I think it's done.
All right, good. Hold on, I thought I had something else. No, okay, there was that. Over on Amazon Prime, Invincible Season 3, the first 4 episodes are out.
Mm-hmm.
Disney Plus, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, like you said, I think 8 episodes are available.
It's weird. They're doing something really weird with this where the first week they released 2 episodes. The second week they released 3 more episodes. And then this week they released 3 more episodes. So they have 8 episodes up for your viewing pleasure. And I think they're going to do, 2 or 3 next week and round it out. I was watching our buddy Christian's show talking about it, and he seems to like it. I'm enjoying it. So it's go watch that one. It's a good one.
I don't think these are available in the United States yet, Tom, but he said Shoresy Season 4 has 4 episodes up. I don't believe they're available outside of Canada yet.
Not yet. Yeah. They will be coming to Hulu, but it's not out yet.
So, okay. It's set to premiere February 26th on Hulu.
Yeah.
So let's mark that down on the sheet there if you could so that we have that for next week.
It's almost like it's under the upcoming show section.
You work fast. Good to know.
I do what I can.
Over on Peacock, Saturday Night Live 50, another special, The Homecoming Concert.
Yeah, it's 3 hours of just concerts, like doing performances and stuff like that. So
is it like new stuff, or is it just playing the music?
I believe it's new stuff. It's like new. It's like artists now playing a 50th anniversary concert.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, I wouldn't mind a 3-hour show if they're showing musical appearances.
Old footage. I mean, they might be interspersing old stuff with some of the newer stuff. So they might have new acts because they've been showing who's going to be doing this. So I think that's what they might do.
There's another 50th anniversary special coming with cast members of all time coming back to
That's cool.
do something. They just made that announcement this week. I forgot what it all entails, but something else is coming too. Upcoming shows next week. On demand. Mufasa, which is the prequel to The Lion King, sort of live action, but it's all CGI stuff. Moving on to the news, Jordan. What do we have?
You have the Stubbs A-list for AMC, correct?
I don't think I
know
have.
During the pandemic, they were just throwing stuff at you.
I don't have A-list. I think I have the tier below, because A-list, you get like 3 movies a week or something.
Yeah.
And I don't go to the theaters that often anymore to make that worth it. So I think I just have the premiere. I'm looking it up right now.
AMC
I have the
theaters,
premiere.
They're hiking the price for Stubbs A-list. It's their monthly movie subscription membership, kind of like how the Movie Pass works. From May 7th, the monthly A-list membership will jump from $24 to $27 in New York and California. Pricing elsewhere is going to range from $20 to $25 per month. They will allow up to 4 movie visits a week, up from the current limit of 3. The AMC A-list program is aimed at avid moviegoers and allows members to see Hollywood, blah, 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 blah. So basically, it's another service that, of course, is just going to raise the prices on everybody. And it's going to end up causing people not to go to the theater even longer.
Wait a minute.
You find out you actually have the A-list?
No, I don't. But they keep, every time I go in the app, it keeps saying, you have a free upgrade. Earn a free membership upgrade. To go up to the A-list thing. It says membership benefits is what I currently have right now. It says discount Tuesday ticket savings, $5 rewards for every 5,000 points, free popcorn on your birthday, free large popcorn refills when you're at there. You get the soda refills too, so you get the popcorn as well. And then you can spend your rewards on food and drinks. Here's where they changed it. So
you could only see Gladiator 2.
Yeah. If you do the upgrade, waived online ticket fees. I never had to pay ticket fees when I bought through the app. So now I'm going to have to go check my receipt for the Captain America and see if I had to pay fucking convenience fees for that. Earn rewards 5 times faster, meaning 100 points per dollar spent. And then this. You can then spend your reward dollars on tickets. I used to be able, remember, you were bringing back during the pandemic, AMC looked like it was going to go bankrupt, right?
Yep.
They extended my membership through 2024.
I know they gave you almost like 2 years worth of this membership.
Yeah, and then they gave me a ton of the $5 rewards for staying with them, right? Mm-hmm. I used to use those tickets, those rewards to pay for tickets or the soda or whatever, because the soda's like $7-something.
Right.
So I would use the rewards I had to offset the cost if pay for anything. Now they changed the parameter, so now I have to upgrade in order to not pay fees when I buy a ticket and to use the rewards to buy a ticket. So I got to spend top dollar in order to use the free points to buy a ticket.
That's ridiculous.
That is fucking ridiculous. All right. Keep going while I look for the receipt, because now I'm going to yell.
So a while back, remember when Netflix changed it to where you couldn't share passwords and they saw an uptick in subscribers?
Correct.
Well, Disney Plus did the same thing and lost over 700,000 subscribers in the final 3 months of 2024.
That's not good.
Yeah. So let's see. ESPN also lost 7. Okay. So Disney Plus now has 124.6 million subscriptions. ESPN lost about 700,000 subscriptions. Hulu was streaming highlight, adding 1.6 million subscribers. The company's streaming business was profitable for its 3rd straight quarter, however, and anticipated Q1 2025 lost subscribers. And now it's forecasting another modest decline in subscriptions for calendar 2025. So basically, they blame the price hikes and the expiration of certain promotions, like, you get your 3 months for $1 kind of thing. And they're losing subscriptions for what I actually personally like as a top tier subscription service, and they're losing subscribers daily.
Hold on.
Oh no.
So I looked at my AMC receipt. I activated a rewards thing to offset some of the cost, right?
Right.
They didn't activate the reward. I mean, the reward is activated sitting here. It expires in the end of April, but they didn't use it towards my purchase like it was supposed to. Fees. Waived.
Sounds like we're all going to get a really good theater story tomorrow.
Waived convenience fee. The convenience fee, by the way, is $2.69 was waived, so I didn't have to pay for that. The soda is $7.50. And then they Stubbs.
Is that with refills though? Like
refills with the refills. Okay. So Stubbs benefits is 50 cents. So it's $7 for the soda. Food and drinks, waived service fee, $1. So if you order your food and stuff on the thing, they charge you another service fee. So if there's a service fee if you get food concession, there's a service fee if you get tickets. Then taxes on there. So with the fees waived and not using my reward dollars that I wanted them to use, guess how much all this came to?
So ticket, popcorn, soda?
No popcorn. It's just ticket and soda.
No popcorn, just ticket and soda. Probably over $20, like probably $25, $30. Oh my God!
No. I didn't. I did it when you said 30. $26.42 for one adult ticket and the large beverage.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
Get the movie pass. That's what I use.
I don't go to the movies anymore. Like I only go for certain kind of things.
Yeah.
I don't. The days of me going to a movie just to, hey, it's something to do on the weekend, or I have something, I'm off this, in the middle of the week, I'll just go catch a movie. There's nothing really out there that I sit there and go, I want to go and sit in the theater when I can wait 3 weeks later and it'll come out on iTunes where I can rent it, or I can, it'll show up on a streaming platform depending who owns the movie, and I just watch it there.
Right.
So what's the point of me going to the movie anymore? Everyone says the theater experience. Fuck the theater experience. That's not as good as it used to be. No matter, I went to that laser IMAX thing last year.
You got LASIK and you got to see a movie.
Yeah, where it's supposed to be like the blacks are richer and the colors are more vivid and whatever. Went in there, but they didn't fix the seating. You still had the old stadium seating in there. Oh, that's what it was. I went to see John Wick 4, which was almost a 4-hour movie.
Yeah, that was
in the old stadium seats that are plastic.
It was like 2 years ago.
Whenever it was.
I know. It's just, it feels like it was yesterday.
And it's not comfortable. But the theaters that have like the reclining seats and all that shit is the one I go to. I go to the Dolby theaters. I don't bother with I don't care how great it looks. As long as I can recline and the sound stuff is good, that's what I care about.
Thomas Dolby.
Yes. They blinded me with science. The lasers.
Moving on to more Disney news. Disney's is changing its diversity, equity, and inclusion programs to focus more closely on business outcomes, according to a note sent to employees on Tuesday.
Hold on. Jittles is saying movies pass is cheap, though. If you go once a month, it works out. I don't even do that. Last year, I went and saw Deadpool, Ghostbusters, and then...
That was in the same time frame.
And then... whatever other Marvel movie was in the theaters last year.
I don't think there was any other Marvel movies in the theaters after Deadpool.
Let me see if
Deadpool was it.
Let me see past year. Let's see what my receipts were, and I'll tell you. Deadpool. Oh, I went to see Deadpool. I saw Godzilla x King Kong: The New Empire.
That was a good one.
And Ghostbusters. Those are the three I saw last year. And that's about it. There was nothing else really making me want to go sit and... There's been great movies that came out, but I said, I'll just wait to rent them or on a streaming service. I don't need to go. I don't care. Well, the concessions you make are expensive because the theater has to make money. That's not my problem. I don't care if movie theaters go away. Go ahead. Sorry.
Anyway, the changes for Disney's policies, while less dramatic than those introduced by other Fortune 500 companies in recent weeks, speak to the pressure brands are facing right now to adjust to new expectations in the second Trump presidency. Disney is adjusting the content warnings ahead of...
Sorry, some of the stuff they're going to allude to was way before Trump was even in.
I know. And to me, this is not political. I think this is just, I think they're course correcting from that pendulum swinging too far one way.
Mm-hmm.
Disney is adjusting the content warnings ahead of some of its old movies, including Peter Pan and Dumbo, amid an overall shift in DEI strategy at the company following President Donald Trump taking office again. The previous version noted that the film includes negative depictions and or mistreatment of peoples or cultures, while the new version reads, this program is presented as originally created and may contain stereotypes or negative depictions.
That's like, you don't need to put a disclaimer in front of this shit anymore. And like, it's like, I couldn't handle this movie because I had no idea what was coming. Most of the time you go to the movie, you don't know what's coming.
Right.
At least if it's a good movie and you didn't see trailers and all that shit, you don't know what's coming. This goes back to like a decade ago where people wouldn't go. Remember, they would say, I'm not going to the movies because I don't know. I need to know what the movie's about before I go see it.
I can't.
Now, that's not like the saying. It's like, oh, I want to know what the movie's about. Oh, it's a political thriller. It's involving this. It's based off a Robert Ludlum book. Okay, cool. I'll go see it. That's all you needed to know. Tell me what the movie's about before I go see it. That's usually what it was. Now they need to know, well, what happens? What's the ending? I need to know all of this shit before I go see a movie. Then why waste your time?
Right. I already think that the trailers show me too much.
We all do. But that's Hollywood's fault doing that, not people's outcries that, I need to know all this shit about a movie. It's like, I'm watching this movie and I had no idea I had no idea he was going to cut his ear off, or I had no idea the parents were going to die. You've never seen a Disney movie? The parents are dead in the beginning of almost every movie for decades. Somebody dies. The family dies. Even last decade, Frozen. What happened? The parents died at the beginning of the movie. It's what happens with all of this stuff. The mom goes missing or died or whatever in the front of Nemo. Bambi, the most probably traumatic one, I guess, is the mom getting shot. It is what it is. But if you need to have disclaimers about everything in the movie, here's a disclaimer that I don't think is necessary, but I understand. May contain lighting effects that may cause seizures. Okay. That I understand. Past that point, there may be some rough talking points in this movie that might not settle with your political views or your view of genders and all this other shit. That doesn't need to be there. Watch a movie to find out if you like it or not, like everybody used to. Read a book.
Bring back the hard R.
Yeah. The hard rated R. Yes. Bring that back in a big, big way.
Exactly. YouTube TV could lose content as of this show. Paramount Global is notifying YouTube TV subscribers that more than 20 channels, including CBS, BET, Comedy Central, MTV, and Nickelodeon, could go dark on the service as soon as today, Thursday, February 13th.
I don't know if I said it on the show, but I think I told you. I had some insider info.
Yes.
That... I don't know. I don't give a fuck.
Well, actually, we did bring it up on the show because I want to raise money to buy these particular channels.
Okay. MTV is going to be sold by March.
Yep.
I don't know if it's the beginning of March or the end of March, but the deal apparently is MTV and Comedy Central are going to be sold off, and then who knows what happens to them.
Right.
The reason why is because it has been declared that they are not a profitable brand. Mm-hmm. And look, Jon Stewart's been doing great coming back to The Daily Show on Mondays. I find it, his monologue stuff interesting, but it's not enough. He's not there 5 days a week or 4 days a week to carry that network anymore. South Park had no episodes last year. None. They did a movie for Paramount.
Mm-hmm.
But that was it. There was nothing on the network. There's nothing carrying these channels anymore, so they're going to go away. Makes sense that they're all the channels. I was surprised. Here's what the big surprise. Nickelodeon isn't profitable.
Yeah, that was
Nickelodeon is a brand. Nickelodeon still has brands that make them billions of dollars. SpongeBob is over 20-something years old.
There's a new SpongeBob movie coming out.
Still makes them tons of money. They're still in the stores. They're still everywhere. Love SpongeBob. And that's not enough to keep Nickelodeon on track. Now, it could go the way of, Nickelodeon also spent a ton of money, too. Apparently, they own Pink Fong. Do you know what Pink Fong is?
Yeah, the Baby Shark stuff.
Baby Shark and all that other spin-off stuff that they do. They spent billions on that. So, if Nickelodeon's for sale, I could see Disney making a play on it. Because why not? Because... what is Universal going to do? They're going to lose more properties. The big SpongeBob exhibit there is going to go across the street to Disney. Back to the Simpsons thing is going to be moving at some point. The rest of the Marvel stuff that they have in Islands of Adventure is all going to go.
I don't know. They have a licensing agreement there, and that's why you don't see a lot of Marvel stuff going into Disney World. You'll see it coming to the West Coast.
You're going to see that disappear once they figure out, because the only reason they have that is because they still have rights to the Hulk.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's a licensing thing.
They'll figure that out. I'm sure it's on the horizon, because now Red Hulk is going to be a thing. You're going to have to bring regular Hulk back, especially after his cameo in Deadpool Wolverine. People want to see that Wolverine Hulk storyline happen. Mm-hmm. They'll work that out. Disney gets Nickelodeon. It's huge for them, right? If that happens. All that Disney needs to do at that point is get Nintendo.
Oh, that would be great.
If Disney got Nintendo, Nickelodeon, Marvel, Star Wars, there's no stopping them.
I don't know if they would get Nintendo, because I think so Nintendo is doing their own thing.
They could get broadcasting rights.
Maybe.
Movies, things like that. Because right now, I think the Super Mario movie is DreamWorks, which is falling apart.
It's DreamWorks Universal, yeah.
Yeah, it's falling. That thing's falling apart.
Or Illuminate. It might even be Illumination now that I think about it. Illumination's the company that does
Minions,
Despicable Me, and Minions and things like that. So they may actually be Illumination.
I saw Despicable Me 4 over the Christmas break.
Did you like it?
I did.
Because I know that Brian is working on another Minions movie.
Not Giddles, Brian Lynch, our friend.
Brian Lynch, yes.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. This is all just speculation on my point, and I'm derailing. Let's get the news and
that's okay.
Get done. Go ahead.
So basically, the short of it is Paramount and YouTube TV are fighting, and they think it's a one-sided deal. If everything goes black as of tonight, people are going to lose their DVR recordings. YouTube says that if it can't reach an agreement with Paramount and their content is unavailable for an extended period of time, YouTube TV subscribers will be able to claim an $8 credit on YouTube.com. The company noted that the users can watch Paramount shows and movies signing up for Paramount Plus, which starts at $7.99. So that's their workaround. It was like, fine, if we don't get your stuff, we'll give credit everybody $8 to get your subscription. They'll get the thing, you get happy, everyone's happy. It's all stupid. Paramount's a terrible interface anyway.
I would love it if that causes the YouTube premium to drop, because
I hope so. No, they just keep going up.
Dude, if you try to watch shit on your phone,
yeah.
I was trying to watch. I was watching back to back Jim Norton's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
What is it called? Jim Norton Can't Help You. It's his advice show kind of podcast. So I was watching the episode of him and Anthony, and I just started the one today of him and Tim Dillon, which so far has been hilarious. Every 5 to 10 minutes, a commercial shows up on the fucking phone. Like I was cooking, I was making the kid lunch today. I'm watching. I'm like, okay, this is good. I put the phone down to go do something. Right as I'm stirring, I have my hands full. Goes to a commercial, so I can't get over there to skip the damn thing. Finally, get over there, skip it, go back cooking again, and all of a sudden, commercial pops up again. It's like it's too frequent now, and not just because of Jim's podcast. This isn't a shot at Jim's thing.
No, it's for all of
other shows. Like there's other. I've been catching up some of these games I've been playing. I've been watching certain streamers produced videos to learn how to play some of these games. There's that, WATP and Uncle Rico and all those things. It's like I want to get the premium. I'm probably going to have to, just to prevent the constant ads. It's like that Black Mirror episode where he constantly has to spend his credits to watch shit in his room or in his head or however that thing is projected. Mm-hmm. But they keep putting up commercials all the time. It's gotten to the point where it's almost as bad as television.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Super Mario Brothers. I know we just talked about your Super Mario Brothers movie. Super Mario Brothers 2 is getting a release date.
We knew that, though. We knew that before Christmas.
Well, they knew we were getting a sequel, but they released the logo for the sequel, and apparently the date for release is April 6th, 2026.
Right.
They were doing an IMAX investor presentation. Shigeru Miyamoto came out and was saying, well, we'll let you know once we're at the stage where we're ready to share more. Miyamoto said, Mario's world further and have a bright and fun story. I like the first one. I still don't like Chris Pratt as Mario, but I thought the movie was good. So I'm excited for the second one. Neil Gaiman, I know we never really got to talk.
I want to bring something up here. When we used to do the posters, well, we still do the posters, which, by the way, I know there's a bunch of you that still haven't gotten your posters. I apologize. They're sitting over here. I got them back from the post office from that fucking debacle. They will get sent out to you. Most of the people got their posters. I know there's a handful that haven't yet. I am taking care of that. I apologize. But when we'd put out the yearly posters for the show, the first couple years we were doing Super Mario theme because, favorite games, why not? I want to show you probably one of the best posters we had done was year 2 based on Super Mario Brothers 2. Look at this.
I like that one.
When we were still on it serious, there's me, Matt OG, and there's Giddles in the back as Toad.
Giddles in his little hat, like a little toad.
Yeah, I love those posters. Good. Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, that's going to be coming out April of 2026. I know like I said, we never really got to talk about all the trouble Neil Gaiman's been in.
Yeah, that ain't going away, is it?
No, it's not. And unfortunately, it has resulted in The Sandman being canceled at Netflix. Sandman will end its upcoming second season that hasn't been released yet. The first season debuted in August 2022. It wasn't renewed right away until about November of that year. They didn't want to put the season 2 moniker on there until all this kind of showed up. And then they said, okay, well, this is a season 2 and this is going to be it. The Sandman world, let's see. They said basically it's a continuation of the Sandman world and wouldn't commit to an episode count. Variety's confirmed the second season of The Sandman is intended to be the last prior to filming in 2023. The Sandman series has always been focused exclusively on Dream Story, and back in 2022, when we looked at the remaining Dream material from the comics, we knew we only had enough story for one more season. The Sandman showrunner Alan Heiberg said,
"We are extremely." The situation surrounding him, yes, that's terrible, but it also sucks that it's affecting the work, because in recent years we've seen they've kicked creators or people who are crucially involved into these things to the side to finish the property. Look they did it with Roseanne,
Game of Thrones,
the Connors, and all of that stuff, that they couldn't figure out a way to make this happen, or they just were cutting their losses because Netflix is a bunch of dicks like that.
Well, and I think what happens is that they're using we don't have enough material to adapt as a pretext to just cut ties with Neil Gaiman as a whole. So they're going to be done with that. I know Good Omens is finishing up also with, I think they're doing like a 2-hour movie as a season 3, and that's it. And then they're going to wrap that show up as well. So I think a lot of people are, they're cutting ties with him. And we won't be seeing him do much in the future, I think. So
gotcha.
Did you ever listen to Coast to Coast with Art Bell?
I did. Many different times. When I was working radio in Florida, I'd be driving home at night sometime, or early in the morning if I had to. When I was doing morning shows down there, they'd always have him on some AM station. This is pre-satellite stuff. I remember the deal they made with him to come to Sirius XM, and it's like, all right, it's a consistent national platform. You can get it anywhere. They did him so dirty with that deal.
That sucks.
Because they didn't give him here's what he required. I need this and this, and they promised him everything. They set him up. They couldn't get the phones working. They couldn't get this right. He wasn't getting the callers that he used to get. Because you were paying.
I love those crazies.
This was like 2005, 2006 in there. And satellite was still kind of a premium get.
Mm-hmm.
So truckers had it, but you weren't getting the lonely, crazy people who were all into alien conspiracies and
Tom
things
from
like
Alberta's.
Yeah, all of those kind of things. The Frankie Bronsons of this world. And he wasn't getting those callers, and he goes, this is killing my show because I can't tell my storylines and drive the topics whatever without the callers. And they didn't care.
I just don't think they understood.
He got out of his deal.
Good.
He returned most of his deal back and said, I am out of this. We're not continuing this relationship. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. Went back to terrestrial syndication and wrote out his days doing what he did. But yeah, Coast to Coast with Art Bell. There's so many great clips of weird, bizarre stories, alien experiences. It's not just alien stuff. There was stuff that were like ghost experiences, paranormal, time travel, all kinds of weird, crazy shit.
I used to work at a video store, and we'd close up at midnight and we'd clean up the store. And then, I'd be driving home around 1 a.m. and then that's what I'd be listening to. I'd go get my Jack in the Box and listen to Art Bell. And I would pull up at my house and I would be so enthralled in whatever crazy he'd have on or someone telling a story. I'd pull up, get in my driveway, and just sit there.
He was exactly that.
I would sit there and listen.
He was those sitting. I mean, it helped when He was on in the middle of the night, so
it was like 1, 2 in the morning.
It was better to listen to it in the car if you had to go somewhere.
Oh, 100%.
But you could listen at home too. But he was one of those people that you had to sit in your car if a story was going on or a caller was talking about whatever until he went to break, and then you went inside the house or you went inside to work or wherever you were going.
Yeah. Well, they are going to make a movie about him.
I saw.
Paul Giamatti right now is in talks to play Art Bell in a new indie movie from the team behind the Pope's
I
Exorcist.
thought that was confirmed.
It may have been. I mean, this may have been confirmed between the time I added this and they did this. But
it's confirmed.
Right now, the rumor of the story is supposed to be a cross between Moonlighting and Kolchak the Night Stalker, which I love that show. It was a great show.
I don't know that one.
It was basically a detective that would investigate things like Wolfman or nights, like really creepy things. So no official details has been released, but I don't know about Paul Giamatti being Art Bell, but I'm kind of intrigued to see what they do with it.
If Paul Giamatti is playing Art Bell but still doing the pig vomit voice,
WNBC.
God damn it, Howard!
Damn it, Howard!
Fun.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, they're doing a sequel series. Originally, it's been in talks for years. People have been always talking about how they want to do it. I know they extended the story through comics and
wait
books.
A minute. Bartholomew in the chat saying, wait, where is it? Right there. Kolchak was the old man from Christmas Story?
Yeah. Gavin, God, what was his name? Gavin, not Gavin DeGraw. He's a singer. Yeah, it was the dad from Christmas Story, and he would go around investigating, things that go bump in the night. It was like a series on.
Now I want to see that. I had no idea.
Dude, look up Kolchak the Night Stalker. It was a great series.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, this was like 70s or 80s, so it's right up our alley. It's kind of like a Love Boat type thing. So, Buffy the Vampire Slayer sequel's in the works. Variety learned that the sequel is coming with Sarah Michelle Gellar attached to reprise her role as Buffy.
Galar.
Buffy Galar. She put out a statement saying, "So you might have heard some of the news this week. I realize you haven't heard from me. 3 years ago, I got a call, blah, blah, blah. I was blown away that this particular director knew who I was, but I've always told people that if the show is going to exist, it has to be something good." They met for about 4 hours. She didn't agree to anything then. The conversations continued over the next few years, and eventually we added the incredible Nora, blah, 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 to a little tribe, and ultimately one day we landed on an idea. I've always listened to the fans and heard your desire to revisit Buffy and her world, but it was not something I could do unless I was sure we would do it right. She concluded, "This has been a long process and is not over yet. I promise you we will only make this show if we know we can do it right, and I tell you that we're on the right path here. I feel so lucky to be on this journey with these four unbelievably talented women, all of who love Buffy as much as I do and as much as you do. Thanks to all the fans who have never stopped asking for this. This will be for you." So they are developing a show for Hulu.
For anybody.
No, he got in trouble for some sexual misconduct and
they all tend to
stuff
do.
like that. And then, he just disappeared. Like, he made his Avengers movies, got in trouble, and then you haven't heard from him since.
I think I remember a story that the girl who played her sister, Michelle Trachtenberg, had told a story that it got to a point where Whedon wasn't allowed to be around her or talk to her unless there was some kind of chaperone around.
She was underage. Like, she was real young.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to be doing that. Fantastic Four First Steps trailer released 2 weeks ago, and it hit 202 million views because that's what we're doing now. We're tracking views of trailers, and that's what they're doing. So 24 hours, 202 million views. The third best first day traffic for a Marvel Studios movie. First trailer after Deadpool and Wolverine at 365 million and Spider-Man No Way Home at 355 million. It is the best Marvel Studios has seen traffic for a non-sequel movie. I think the hype on it is really good. I know we watched it last week. I'm excited for it, so it should be fun. What are you making faces over there for? What'd you find? What stuff did you find?
I was curious about Michelle Trachtenberg, because I was thinking, I was like, I only knew her from Buffy and from Eurotrip.
I love Eurotrip so
I
much.
do too. And I was trying to think about, I'm like, well, what else was she in? Was there anything else that I remember? And you put a person's name and you put now because it tells you some of the stuff.
Oh
that they're doing.
What happened? Why does she look older than Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Right? I don't know what the story is, but she looks
really, really different. And she has to be at least 10 to 15 years younger than Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
That's weird.
Let me see how old she is. She is currently 39 years old.
Oh, yeah, 20 years ago.
Wow.
Oof, that's rough.
She was on Gossip Girl for 4 seasons. 5 seasons.
Never watched that show.
She was Harriet the Spy.
That I knew.
For Nickelodeon.
Which I believe wasn't... no, I'm thinking of someone else. But yeah, no, she was, Harriet the Spy. I loved Eurotrip.
All right, so she had a bit of a career up until I think... Well, no... was it? What did I just say? Gilmore Girls, whatever. She did
Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girl. She did 5 seasons of that. She was Penny in the Inspector Gadget movie.
I remember that.
They brought back Gossip Girl. She's on that series.
That must be just a really bad photo.
Well, it was 2022 to 23, so I guess it only lasted 1 or 2 seasons.
Yeah, they did like a little revival.
She did a ton of Robot Chicken stuff.
Yeah, because of Seth Green. They're all still pretty close.
Yeah, she hasn't really done... she's not, at least according to IMDb, she's not currently doing anything.
Interesting.
Let's see if it's... No, it doesn't even say...
If you find a better picture, you're going to ruin my night, and I'll go to the next story. Deadpool creator Rob Liefeld is exiting Marvel. Liefeld is done with Marvel. The comic artist and creator says after more than 30 years, he's severing ties with the publisher for whom he created renowned characters Deadpool and Cable. He laid out his decision in his podcast, Robservations, which, God, that's such a worse name for a podcast.
That's what Rob Stark's podcast is going to be.
What he just says in a mirror in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
He detailed a series of perceived slights at July's New York premiere for Deadpool and Wolverine. At the premiere, Liefeld learned that he and his family were not invited to the after party, something he was accustomed to attending. He also felt snubbed by Disney's brass, including Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige, whom he says was near him on the red carpet but did not acknowledge him. It was meant to embarrass, diminish, and defeat me, he said on his podcast. There was another apparent slight, Liefeld said. He posed for professional photos with creatives at the Deadpool Wolverine team, but later was told by his publicist that those photos were deleted. He believes they were only taken as a courtesy and not intended to be used. Though other photos, including Liefeld alone, as well as with his family, appeared as part of Disney's Getty press portal from the event. Soon after July's premiere, he decided he would cut ties with Marvel, which he believed no longer wanted him around. At some point, you got to go. I've received the message, and the message is clear, he said on the podcast. I think this sounds like he got a little high in his britches, and when he didn't get the invite, he got pissy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, good for you.
Or he was bugging them for some, during the movie, and then they just we're not dealing with him anymore.
Right. So, I don't know. Those types usually are, they do their thing, and then there's not enough attention on them.
I want to go back to an article a year ago.
Oh.
Buffy and Gossip Girl star Michelle Trachtenberg hits back at internet criticism over her looks. "This is my face," is what she said.
Oh my God.
The Gossip Girl star's comment section was flooded. She posted some photo, and it was flooded with endless messages from concerned fans, of which they said she looked sick. And she wrote back, "Explain to me how I look sick. Did you lose a calendar and not realize I'm not 14 anymore? I'm 38. How sad for you to leave such a comment." But yeah, a lot of people were looking at these photos, and we saw that photo and there's something off here. But apparently we're part of the problem. So, all right.
Well, last story. D&D is getting a live-action TV show. It's going to come to Netflix. It's a new iteration based off the iconic IP. D&D series has been in the works at Paramount, but that project no longer moving forward, according to Variety. In partnership with Netflix, Hasbro's Entertainment will also produce the television series. The TV show is currently titled The Forgotten Realms, a reference to the fantasy world setting that acts as a campaign setting for Dungeons & Dragons. Drew Crivello, who was previously set to be the showrunner for the Paramount series, will make the move to this show and serve as showrunner for the series, as well as writer and executive producer. So we're getting more D&D. I mean, it's getting popular. All these, dice rolling shows.
Matt must be having...
Matt is probably, very happy.
He'll find a way to be upset about that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But good news for the people who were into that community.
Look, I like that movie they did with Chris Pine. I think if they do this right, then this could be fun. So I'm never going to be against more fantasy and science fiction. So
all right. I would like to remind everybody that we have a new TikTok channel up, TikTok at It's the Consumer. Please go over there. We're currently putting up the old videos on that channel, and then we'll start putting in the new stuff as we get a lot of the old stuff on there. Give us a follow. Tell your friends. It's the Consumer, all one word on TikTok. That definitely will help us out. And with that being said, it's plug time. So, of course, Jordan, our nation's eyes turn to you.
You can come check me out at Jinx Ronan on Instagram, X, Blue Sky, and all those social media spots. Twitch, I'm on Jinx Ronan 79. If you've got an Amazon subscription and you want to throw your free Twitch subscription toward our way, go for It's Eric Nagel. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, and it helps out the show. So give us a subscribe.
Very nice. In a tight little package. For me, the show, and everything else, it's Eric Nagel across the board on all the social medias. Do us a kindness if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, those kind of places. Go over there, leave us a positive review. It does help out the program. If you'd like to join us live each and every week as we do this show, head over to our live rooms on Twitch and on YouTube, all under It's Eric Nagel. Like, subscribe, notify, all that stuff. We'll let you know when we're on. You can come in and throw your weight around, your money around, or your hurtful barbs. We'll take it all. And we talked about the TikTok thing. Oh, yeah, and the produced videos, too, if you want to see clips or the show, if you didn't get a chance to see it live. All that video is available on our YouTube channel at It's Eric Nagel. So that is it. We need to get out of here. So until the next time, everybody.
Be excellent to each other.
We'll be seeing you.
It's Eric Nagel.
They're a little much. They feel a little condescending just by the way they're existing. Stop existing condescendingly, please.
Alas, we're out of time. Follow It's Eric Nagel on social media platforms. For ways to watch and listen to the show, or join us for the live shows, head over to itsericnagel.com. Yo, and remember to tell two friends so they can tell two friends, and they can tell two friends, they can tell two friends, they can tell two friends. You get the idea.
Keep it real, homies.